Oh, hey. What's going on? Blue Cheese Over Ranch in the chat writes the following. Coffee Crisp is so underrated. Let me tell you something right now. Coffee Crisp is rated properly. It is one of the worst candy bars out there. The top 3 candy bars, in my opinion, go as follows. Arrow, number 1. Flaky, I'm going underdog.
That's not a chocolate bar.
It's a bunch of flakes that are chocolate. It's messy. Flaky's too. And I don't know if it counts, but Cadbury mini eggs are kind of unbelievable. Find me a person who hates Cadbury mini eggs. I don't mean to start this fight during the show. We got a lot coming up. We got a guest coming up. We're loaded.
Oh, we're going to fight.
But we're going to fight about this.
Yes.
It's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now. Got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props, or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K, 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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick.
You are now listening to The Sid Seixeiro Show. Powered by Sick Media, the sickest Toronto sports show. Now, here's your host, Sid.
What's up? It's Sid. End of another week. We've done it. Still not canceled by Sick Media.
We got 2 hours.
Nice job, Azo. Not canceled.
We got 2 hours to still do it this week.
We might get canceled by the end of this. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are live on X. To everyone watching after the fact, we appreciate you. Listening after the fact, we appreciate you. You know how this goes. If you would like to support this little small business operation we got going on here, which I have big plans for, hit like, hit subscribe. We appreciate all the help. You guys have been amazing. I don't say that enough because I am not a kind person. But you have been. Azzo is. Azzo
True.
brings like gifts to people's homes
True.
and stuff. I don't do nothing. I just give you all of this in a salmon shirt today because I feel summery. The weather forecast in Southern Ontario coming up. Maybe a little rain tomorrow on the Saturday. Oh my God. Entering a World Cup week in the city of Toronto. We are 7 days away. Let's go. From one of the biggest sporting moments in this country's history. Canada's men play a World Cup game on home soil a week from today, 3 p.m. Eastern at BMO Field. Azzo and I will be streaming here the entire game on all the socials. So if you need a little of that in your life, I've seen a soccer game once or twice. We'll be here with you. Tonight, before we get to next week, tonight in Montreal, kind of big as well. Canada's final friendly before the World Cup begins in earnest. Ireland are coming over, and Ireland are bringing a decent team with them. So Ireland will take on Canada at Saputo Stadium in Montreal, 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight. It's a big one. We don't often have a ton of guests on this show. I can tell you, coming up at 1:30 p.m. Eastern here live from Montreal, Kristian Jack will join us. I've known Kristian for a decade plus. You know him very well. He's one of the best soccer people in the media this country's ever had, and he's going to jump on at 1:30. And lucky for us, it's usually a quiet moment on game day. There's nothing going on morning or early afternoon. Everything's aimed at the game, obviously. KJ's got some time. He's jumping on. We'll talk about Davies. We'll talk about Maxime Crépeau, who is now the number one goalie. I want to ask about Moise Bombito because I'm really worried about Moise Bombito. I think it's worrying me more than Davies, if I'm being honest about it. That's kind of a gaping hole for Canada in the center of defense. We'll talk about all the things coming up at 1:30. We'll get to the finals here again momentarily, and we will talk Matthew Knies in just a few seconds, I promise you. But someone in the chat, in the cold open, for those just listening, we have a few seconds where we usually read something from the chat. And today's comment was, Coffee Crisp, the candy bar, is super underrated. I think it's rated properly, considering it is 98% crunch and 2% chocolate. It is. So this obviously starts a war in the chat, and I professed my love for Aero bars and Flaky and Cadbury mini eggs, which are not seasonal. You can get them all year round. They are not seasonal. So this has started chaos. We need to deal with the chaos as a group, and then we move on to all this other stuff because we have a lot of other stuff. Jeff has a party. Good afternoon. I'm bringing you in way early.
You
on
are.
this.
Good afternoon. Sid.
Do you want to read the comments first, then your take, or your take, then the comments?
I don't know. I'm kind of angry, but this better not be the takes you're having today with these. Like, it's
the takes you're having today. What are you talking about? It was a great take I had today.
No, what did you just say about Coffee Crisp?
It's 2% chocolate. The rest is crunch, 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 crunch.
And your number one chocolate is one filled with air bubbles?
It's not. It's 20% air bubbles.
Okay.
It's 80% num-nums.
And your number two, what was it? Tell me this one I'm embarrassed by.
Flaky.
It's not a chocolate bar, number one.
Flaky. It's the last chocolate at the bottom of every gas station
And
display.
why did you say you like it?
Because of the chocolate flakes.
Oh, and you said the flaky.
And it makes a mess. It's a mess. I kind of like
But you won't
the mess.
eat an ice cream cone because it makes a mess.
Not the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Totally. Anyway, whatever.
So you're, okay, hold on. All right, smart guy. So your top 3 candy bars of all time are what?
Oh.
I don't know how we got on this.
I know.
We got to
I
deal
like
with
them
this,
all.
and then we'll
Let's
move on.
read some from the chat.
No, I want your take. Azzo's take. Azzo's
What
take.
is my favorite? I like caramel. Not my top one, though.
Caramel is like top 5 for me.
Yeah.
It's
The
a
old
pretty
school
good
one,
one.
the crunchy one. You like that?
Crunchy?
Yeah. Did you ever get that with the
No.
sponge stuff in the middle?
No, that's. Oh, isn't that Mirage?
No.
Mirage is kind of like that.
Yeah.
There's like, it's kind of spongy a little bit in the middle.
Right.
All right, so what are people saying?
Okay, so people are saying, I think they agree with me. Whoa. Who the hell chooses Aero as their top? I can't trust you anymore, Sid. That's from RJ Brando.
That's uncalled for.
Huh?
That's an uncalled for
Yeah,
statement.
and then look, could be worse, agrees. Aero's just plain chocolate. At least have something with flavor. 3 Musketeers or Mars.
3 Musketeers?
That's a pretty bad take, too.
That's chocolate diarrhea. 3 Musketeers. You're going to throw 3. If you don't like the take of Aero, that you're entitled to it. You're going to throw 3 Musketeers in my face. There's no chance.
Big W just reminded me of my favorite, Kit Kat. Kit Kat #1, score, and
Overrated.
then O'Henry.
Kit Kat's overrated.
Oh, wafers?
Yeah, it is.
Who doesn't like wafers,
It's a
dude?
little overrated.
Come on.
It's a little overrated.
I know. And then there's a lot of mini eggs are disgusting. Like, what?
Whoa.
I know.
Guys, we don't have to swear during the show.
Yeah,
here.
seriously.
Let's keep the language in check. There are kids listening.
Are you a peanut butter cup kind of guy?
No, I don't like peanut butter.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Just bad take.
If I ever eat peanut butter, it's by accident.
Really?
It's like someone will send like some chocolates around Christmas or whatever, and it's like, it's in the box. I'll eat seriously, and I'll eat some
a peanut butter and chocolate. Have you ever tried them together? They're great.
I hear it's a popular mix. Yes, I've heard that.
Chase Aiden says the peanut butter O'Henry for him. Yeah. Anyway,
okay,
that's some of them. So I'm sure it'll keep going. But yeah, hopefully you have better.
Big Dub in the chat. This is an underrated one. Score. Score is an underrated. I will give you Score.
Aren't they tiny chocolate bars? Like it's half the size of the other
ones. It's like a thin. It is thin,
right?
It is thin.
A weird one.
Yes, it's very thin.
Oh my, yeah.
A lot of Wonder
now
Bar.
we're getting worse.
Wonder Bar love here.
Yeah, there is a lot of
Wonder Bar love.
I'm not a Wonder Bar guy.
There's actually, I'm getting hungry. Just
I know. You know what's best? It's just chocolate with like almonds in it or something.
The Big Turk. I've never understood.
No,
I've never understood Big Turk.
I almost threw up in my mouth. It's gross.
It's not great.
Even Almond Joy. We're getting some Almond Joys now.
I get no joy out of Almond Joy.
Yeah.
I get zero joy out of it.
But with the coconut, it's weird.
Anyway. All right. So we settled nothing.
Keep it going.
Way to go, guys.
Yeah.
We just fought.
Twix is another new
Twix is overrated.
No.
Twix is overrated.
You don't like anything with a crunch.
I don't like the hard crunch when it's dominant. That's why the
But it's because of what's inside.
That's why the
more
coffee crisp sent me off. It is almost 100% crunch. There's very little chocolate in a coffee crisp. Yeah. You can't just ignore that.
DJ Blunt says the Hershey cookies and cream. Do you like that one? The white chocolate bar?
That's actually not bad.
It's so sweet.
I've had that
I don't
a couple
trust
times.
white chocolate. I'm
not a cookies and cream fan normally, but I've had some enjoyable experiences.
Sounds like you need a Snickers.
There's a lot of people saying they need a Snickers. You know who needs a Snickers today?
Toblerone's an underrated one.
But Toblerone, you need to set out time in your schedule.
Jared says that ends the chat now.
Toblerone ends the chat?
Yeah.
I don't know if it ends. You talk about seasonal. I was getting ripped for mini eggs. Toblerone is the ultimate seasonal chocolate.
Christmas?
Yes.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Hold on. We got one in here. Marcus in the chat. Sid, our apologies. We wanted to talk about the Jays winning, but we ran out of time. And that win temporarily saved teams' mental fragility from Robida Island.
Oh, my
goodness.
There's
a lot going on there.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
You know who needs a Snickers after reading the rumor mill? Matthew Knies.
Oh, my goodness.
We got a problem here. I think we got a problem here. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Take a walk with me. Matthew Knies is part of a very exclusive crew. And that group is known as the following. The good young NHL ready players that are on the Leafs crew. Exclusive crew. They're going to add a young player on June the 26th, probably Gavin McKenna. He will join the crew. They got Matthew Knies. Is Joseph Wall in the crew? Easton Cowan's in the crew. Is Joseph Wall in the crew? I think Joseph Wall's in the crew.
Not for me.
You need a Snickers.
It's true.
Jerk face. But there's not a lot of people in the group, is my point. Matthew Knies, 23 years old, has yet to have a 30-goal season in the National Hockey League. He's had 3 full seasons. Yet to have a 30-goal season. Yet to have a 70-point season, but he's young. He's young, and I believe he's been top 3 or 4 in all of those seasons in hits on the team. So he's been physical. Some people would argue he hasn't been as physical, but keep in mind, this is a guy that's already had 2 upper body injuries. 1 concussion that we know of. Thank you, Sam Bennett, for that. Cheap shot artist. And there was another upper body injury a couple of years after that, last year, where the Leafs were far more ambiguous about it. They didn't tell you what it was. And then this past season, what was it again? The knee injury that he was dealing with? It was
his knee.
Thank you.
But he played through it.
Yeah.
Good thing, he's a dog. He plays through injuries.
Good thing all those Leafs played through injuries last year. Max Domi, Matthew Knies, just great ideas left and right. So let's go back to the trade deadline. And it came and went. And the one thing Azzo and I, because we're streaming right through 3 p.m. Eastern that day, and a lot of you joined us, and we appreciate it. But one of the first things that happened after the deadline came and went was Kent Hughes spoke to the media in California. I think it was either Anaheim or San Jose, forgive me. And because the Habs were on the road. And Kent Hughes came out, GM of the Montreal Canadiens, and said, we were working on something big. Maybe we revisit it. I don't know. Now, when I hear a GM say that, I have to be honest. I kind of go, like, thanks, Tips. Thanks, Tips. There's nothing less important to me than a general manager after a trade deadline who says, yeah, but we were in on things. Otherwise known as the Ross Atkins strategy. Or every writer in Toronto that says that if Jays miss out on a player. They were in on someone. It happens. If you're a GM and you don't do anything and you're taking a little bit of heat, break glass in case of excuse emergency and pull out, well, we had something on the go. A, that's your job. You better have something on the go. You're a GM. B, I don't believe you. But Kent Hughes said this, I believe it was to Eric Engels in California. And everyone was just like, oh, that's interesting. A few days later on The Real Kipper and Bourne, Kipper adds some color to the story. They were talking Knies. And everyone in this city went, whoa, chief among them, Matthew Knies. Don't think he was aware of that. And they asked Knies about it like a couple times throughout the year. He didn't seem pleased. Now, keep in mind, this is a 23-year-old with almost no trade protection. You could do whatever you want with Matthew Knies in terms of a trade, and he's got a fantastic deal. I think it's $7.7 million against the cap. It's great. 23 years old, no trade protection, $7.7 million. Worst agent I've ever seen. But finally, the Leafs got a negotiation right. That was a Brad Treliving negotiation, if I'm not mistaken. That's probably the highlight of Brad Treliving's brief tenure as GM of the Leafs, I would argue. Maybe I'm wrong. But that was a pretty good contract he signed with Knies. And Knies is signed through to, I believe, 2031. So he turns 28 years old when he's only 28 when that contract ends. Whoa. Interesting. So that happened. Knies did not seem happy. Then Brad Treliving gets fired and Keith Pelley has a press conference. And this is now, I know it's only been like several months, but I think we're safe in the analysis. It's one of the more hilarious Leaf press conferences we've ever seen. The only thing funnier was when Brian Burke got fired and was allowed to yell at the media before he left in the Leafs media room, which was still an all-time moment. I thought he was going to kill Steve Simmons. I thought it was a great moment. No team has done it since, and I know why, because things go off the rails pretty quickly. But Keith Pelley in that press conference gave the infamous, we didn't see the Montreal train or Buffalo trains coming. And out of nowhere, Keith Pelley, who no one trusts is that up-to-date on Habs prospects, mentions Michael Hage, or as Pelley said, Michael Hagee. And I was like, whoa, that's weird. Keith, quick, who's Nashville's top prospect? Go. Probably couldn't tell you. So then the feeling is clearly that might have been a name kicked around in this Knies thing. I don't know. No one's confirming anything, nor will they. But like there are levels to this Knies thing that when you stack them on top of each other, they're getting kind of interesting in terms of what the Habs and the Leafs were talking about. Well, yesterday, David Pagnotta comes out with an absolute banger of a rumor. Of all the insiders in the country, by the way, Pagnotta is having a very good 12 months. Very good. It is tough to make headway if you're not a TSN or Sportsnet guy as an insider in this country. Pagnotta's doing it. Am I alone in that, Azzo? You with me?
100%.
Pagnotta's working very hard.
100%.
And he's doing a great job. So yesterday, David Pagnotta had what the deal would have been for Knies. That did not go through. Here's the deal. A second rounder from last year, Alexander Zarowski, who had an okay year with the KHL this year. There was another prospect with Zarkovsky, plus 2 first rounders going to Toronto. That's 4 assets going to Toronto, and 1 asset going the other way. It was Matthew Knies. Now, keep in mind, the narrative at the time was the Leafs have nothing. Like, the Leafs have no prospects, the Leafs have no picks. This helps you with both. Now, in theory, Knies at 23 also can be considered kind of, I mean, he's an NHLer at this point, but still like an NHLer / prospect, playing top line minutes to start the year anyway. Not to end the year, but to start the year. So, like, let's remember the narrative in that moment. So that deal did not go through. Elliot Friedman this morning says, yeah, I'm hearing the same thing Pagnotta's hearing, with one caveat. The deal didn't go through for this reason, according to Friedge. The trade deadline was 3 p.m. Eastern. The call went in at 3:01 p.m. Eastern. A minute late. That's how close it was, according to Friedge.
Yeah.
1 minute. Now, I'm going to bring Azzo back in this chat, and I'm going to ask you, considering the 2 GMs involved, who do you think is at fault for that trade call going in at 3:01 p.m. Eastern based on everything we've seen and heard reported? Azzo, between Brad Treliving and Kent Hughes, who do you think dragged their feet a bit longer than they should have and wasn't overly assertive enough to get the deal over the line? Was it Kent Hughes or Brad Treliving? Who would you guess?
Well, only one of them still has a job. And the other one, apparently they were talking extension with him before that. And then a week later, he was gone. So I think I'm going to put my money on the side of Brad Treliving.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird with that Brad Treliving part of his Leafs tenure.
Or was it because Pelly was in the room and maybe caused a little hang-up?
Tarani was in the room? Sorry.
Well, wasn't Keith Pelly in the room too?
Keith Pelly, yeah, Tarani wasn't in the room. Hamza Tarani wasn't in the room from MLS.
Maybe like, before he signed off, it got to be 3:01.
It is interesting now piecing that together.
Right. I agree.
Because part of Pelly's reasoning to get rid of Treliving was the data side of things.
Yep.
But if you're in the room where your GM screws up a trade because he doesn't get it in at 3 o'clock and at 3:01,
1 minute late.
That is also a fireable offense.
1,000%.
And everything you've heard reported of Treliving was the dude worked at a snail's pace.
We almost didn't start taking calls till 2:45.
Not good. Not good.
There was multiple reports of that as well.
The one thing, listen, I have no idea what that headspace is like as a GM in the National Hockey League or in professional sports. That's a different kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Heaven help you if you're indecisive. That is not for you.
Right.
You are a scout. At best, you're an AGM. You are not the boss. The boss has to be decisive. The boss has to get stuff done.
Yeah.
Like, you think back in 2015, you think Alex Anthopoulos pulled all that off because he was indecisive? Hell no. David Price, Troy Tulowitzki, boom, boom. I'll call you back in an hour. An hour. Let me take a walk. 1 hour. Done. Indecisiveness is weakness in professional sports. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. Unless you're trying to get the opinion of 6 AGMs. Like, could that be it too?
TML Golf Club. That's Brad. And I legit mean that.
No, it's true.
Yeah. There's not one Kent Hughes vote I see in this chat. Everyone thinks that's Brad Treliving's fault. The call went in at 3:01 p.m. Eastern.
Do they still have to fax trades in?
I think we're past that. I think we're past the faxing.
But why is there always a holdup with these things? It's so ridiculous.
There isn't though.
Yeah, there shouldn't
a
be,
lot
right?
of deals get through. Now, some of these deals, they don't listen. A deal that doesn't get agreed upon is not a deal.
Right.
Like I'm sure GMs talk to other GMs right up to 2:58, 2:59 p.m. Eastern every deadline. Stuff happens. This was kind of big.
Well, let me ask you, would you ever think in your wildest dreams that they'd make a trade like that at the deadline with the Habs, with a divisional rival, with your oldest rival?
It would have been one of the most shocking things I've seen the Leafs ever do at the deadline.
100%. Like maybe they weren't just prepared for it to get that call from Ken Hughes?
So now let's walk down this road. Because Frege and Pagnotta are verifying this now.
Yes.
We got two sources
So it's legit.
who have their own two sources. So it's like four sources who are saying this thing was just late by a fraction, this Knies deal.
The Frege stamp of approval says it all.
Boom.
Confirms it all.
Frege ruled out David Carl. He eventually did today too.
Yep.
David Carl's not coming to the Leafs. Back to Knies. So if the Leafs, like right now, under John Chayk and Matt Sundin, are look like they might bring in an experienced coach,
Also from Frege?
how do you go from trying to look towards the future and pick up assets in March and think you can retool in May? Like where they're at now, potentially, and where they were at talking to Montreal, two completely different headspaces.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Or
That's the scary part of this to me. Where are you going? You have shifted so far in either direction in a serious way. What are the Leafs about? Like, what is the direction? If you want to acquire picks and prospects, I'm here for it. You don't have many.
No, well.
And quite frankly, I don't like that Knies early in his career has suffered a concussion. If you want to talk to me about giving up on a 23-year-old, you better be serious about it. And I don't like the medical history already. I do not with Knies. He still throws his weight around. He throws hits. I do appreciate that about him. I think there are big-time flags health-wise on him. But if you're going to bring in Peter Laviolette to coach the team, what are we doing? So you want to win next year. In March, you wanted to trade Knies for 4 assets, most of them young or picks. And we're gonna hire either Patrick Waugh or Peter Laviolette in May. That makes no sense. Help me figure that one out.
So for me, because there was a point where we heard at one point it might have been 6 assets, but it might have been a bigger trade.
That seems like a lot for Knies.
4 is a lot.
4 is a lot for Knies.
But like the prospects to me isn't what it is, because that doesn't include any of the top 2 of Montreal's prospects. It never included Hage, and it didn't include their other top 2
Well,
prospects.
they didn't. Frege and Pagnotta did not mention who the other prospect was.
Right.
They mentioned Alexander Zorowski.
But I thought Pagnotta said it wasn't Hage.
Oh, forgive me. Pagnotta reported that.
Yeah.
I missed that.
I thought he said for sure it wasn't Hage.
Okay.
But to me,
I'll trust Pagnotta on that, the run he has.
And
right
again,
now.
Sid, they were in this spot because Knies was the only real trade chip they had if they wanted to bring in any assets.
Right.
Like that could bring in multiple assets.
No,
and
you're
to
right.
me, it screams that they wanted those first round picks. It was more about the 2 first round picks than it was about the prospects. To move forward.
Smoke water in the chat. I lost it. There's a lot. Sorry, guys. There's a lot coming in. Brad was a desperate GM. That deal makes no sense out of pressure. I am 100% in agreement with that comment.
We talked about this. I think it was the number one goal at the deadline was to bring in as many first rounders as you can. First round picks.
Correct.
I think so.
But I didn't know Knies was in play.
Oh, but we heard that then because
I listen.
Again, Sid, he's the only asset they have that has a no movement that you could.
No, true. But they did have other. Listen, I was still convinced you can get a first for OEL at that deadline. There was a lot going on with OEL personally.
He has to approve it again.
No, you're right. But I'm just saying, I don't believe, in its totality, he wasn't their only option to get a first back or a couple of firsts. He was the easiest option, but he's also 23, and you need to really be careful walking up.
And here's the other side to it. Did the Leafs offer him up, or did the Montreal call them and have say we're looking at Knies?
That feels like that's a great question. That feels like a Kent Hughes phone.
1,000%. I'm with you on that. I think Kent Hughes said, here's this. And when you're putting multiple first rounders on the table, you have to listen.
Kent Hughes is smelling living blood in the water.
Bingo.
And he goes in and say, yeah, I got this guy. I can give you a second round pick, another prospect, and 2 firsts.
where you don't even have to go to the guy and ask him if he wants to be traded. He's one of the guys you can just say yes to and bring in 2 firsts.
Okay.
That's what it was to me.
You just hit on it. Brad was so tired going to everyone with their no trades. Yeah. He was just willing to trade.
Boom.
He was just willing to trade the kid who had no trade.
Kinda.
That is such a terrifying way to operate.
100%.
That is terrifying. Leaf fans, this could have gone sideways in a serious way. Now, again, I'm not saying that's a bad deal for Knies. I think Knies has questions. And any Leaf fan who's denying that is head in the sand stuff. It's not his fault Sam Bennett cheap shotted him in 2023. That's not Knies' fault in the playoffs, but it happened. And I think his growth has been stunted. He's not the fastest guy out there. I am worried about the concussions. He's never scored 30 goals.
He took a bit of a step back this year.
He did.
Too.
Well, like a lot of people on the roster, for sure.
Oh, without a doubt. That's true, too. You're right. And do we know what he is? Like, is he trying to put on weight to be a power forward? Because, like, is that the way the game's going right now? Is he not? What's he trying to be?
But again, at the end of the day, like, and there's a lot of people in the chat kind of going down this road, and we have to acknowledge it because it's true. He's 23 years old.
Yeah.
The Leafs do not have the luxury to just be tossing away 23-year-old kids.
Definitely not.
That is not how they're built. They are still a mess. I don't care what Chaik has done so far or not done. Like, there's some problems here.
But do you agree this must have been what finally did in, Brad, after the deadline?
I think if that's the reason this trade didn't go in and Pelly's in the room watching it, he's throwing up in his mouth a little bit. I think Pelly had enough. Yeah. That's a last straw kind of move.
1,000%.
100%. So you're not going to listen to any data we got from our analytics department, the guy I trust. And on top of that, you don't know how to phone properly and text.
And the biggest trade you're about to make.
We can't even get, it's not even about making the trade call. No. Get in the queue at NHL offices. Get in line.
No, but
that's it.
The most major trade, the other team probably called you when you're the guy trying to sell. They should have been selling at the deadline.
Clawsome Landing in the chat. Zorowski might be better than Knies.
Okay.
I'm not up on my KHL like some people. I'm not. I believe DAZN. Does DAZN still have KHL hockey? There's no a way. I don't know. Things have gotten a little complicated, as you know. So I don't know where you can get KHL hockey in Canada, but okay, so that happened yesterday. Oh, last thing. Who leaked this?
It's always a great question.
Who benefits?
Well, where did the Knies one come from? You said it.
This has to be a Montreal leak.
Oh, I was going to say the opposite.
No, I believe this is a Montreal leak.
If you knew that was the straw that broke like the Treliving back to have him gone, I think it might have been the
because this does a couple things for you. One, it unsettles. In soccer, in European soccer, and South American soccer, there's a common tactic used by other teams. Just leak a transfer rumor. Whether you've spoken to with the other team or not, unsettling a player is gold. It hurts the club, hurts the player, especially if they are a rival of yours. There's two things going on here. I still think the Habs are pissed at the Leafs for bringing up Michael Hage in that press conference.
Oh, for sure.
But I do believe they have genuine interest in bringing in a bigger body up front in Matthew Knies.
But the Knies news came out before the Hage comment.
True, but the Hage comment set things off even further.
See, I think if Pelly knew he was done with Treliving, you put that out there to gauge it and see.
I have to be honest with you. I don't think Pelly thought that through saying that stuff.
No, but it was coming
at all.
I mean,
listen, all I'm telling you is this is what we can confirm, and we can pull the clips next week. Knies, not happy with any of this.
Agreed.
Now, it's professional sports. It is what it is. If you're Kent Hughes and you just saw your forward group get physically pushed around for 4 straight games, and still they didn't get pushed around against Tampa. I'm trying to figure out what happened there because physically they were fine against Tampa. They held their own. I don't know what the Carolina situation was about. Maybe they were just tired. I don't know. But Kent Hughes is in the market for, and we'll get to this momentarily, a center and some more meat up front. And Matthew Knies is a big kid.
Yeah.
And the Habs have done a hell of a job in acquiring assets and are ready to listen. The Kent Hughes that we heard at the end of the season wasn't ready to go all in. He knows the team's not good enough.
Yeah.
But he wasn't happy with that. Neither was Jeff Gordon.
No.
They were diplomatic about it.
Well,
they weren't happy with how it ended.
Jeff Gordon might have been. We'll talk about that later.
Jeff Gordon might have been happy with how it ended. What are you talking about?
No, never mind.
Jeff Molson.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking we're wrong, Jeff.
All of them were there, though.
They were all there?
Yeah, weren't they?
Everyone loves Luke Combs, man. Back to what I was saying. Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon didn't like how it ended. Confirmed?
Yes.
Okay.
So I misunderstood you. You're saying who leaked this final trade? What we heard yesterday?
I'm saying what we heard yesterday and today.
Sorry, I thought you meant initially who leaked it.
I don't care initially anymore.
Okay.
This over the last 24 hours.
Okay.
Who leaked it?
Okay, I'm with you then. Montreal. Sorry, I thought you meant who initially.
100% it's Montreal.
1,000%. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And this is sound strategy by Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon.
Yes.
Sound.
Agreed.
Sound. Knies was annoyed when it first happened. If anything, it sends a message to the league of the type of package that they can put together for all types of players. That's easily done.
No, that's not even their best package.
But it's one they're willing to move.
Yeah.
This is a huge positive for the Habs.
And in the
division. Really is. And it could work. Because if I'm Knies, based on everything I heard after the deadline last year, this is not going over well. That you were a minute.
Why would it?
You were a minute away from being traded. How's that feel, Matt?
And a guy who claims he likes being, like, he always professes how much he loves playing.
He wants to be here.
He wants to be here.
He wants to be here.
So that sucks.
The Leafs have a problem. Now, the Leafs also don't have a coach or prospects or a team that made the playoffs. But right now with Knies, like, what do you actually think of Knies if you're the Leafs? Because right now, he might be in a huge get-me-out-of-here headspace.
Yeah, but they're trying to right that, right? By bringing in new management, by bringing in new guys.
Hold on. They're trying to make Matthew Knies happy by bringing in new management?
I'm just saying they're changing that. They're saying, look, we realized this was bad.
How are they changing it?
Well, because Brad's gone. Like, we're not dealing with business.
But it's not – Brad was a symptom of, like, the greater evil. And the greater evil in the Leafs is there is no plan.
But now they're trying to.
But what's the plan? Peter Laviolette's the plan?
No.
There is no – Azzo, let's not get it twisted. They still have no plan.
But they haven't told us.
They have one plan, pick first overall.
Yeah.
That's their one plan.
Fine.
If you're telling me there's nothing but mixed messages about all of this.
Right.
All
which
of
is
it.
fine.
So,
I'd rather that.
So then Matthew Knies isn't as settled as some people would think. What I'm saying is this is still a mess.
Oh,
and
it is.
And Matthew Knies hearing this today, that's no bueno.
Let me throw another
man.
thing onto it. Is this what started Austin saying, I need to see a plan? Because that's BS that you guys almost did that.
Listen, I have to be honest with you. I think Austin's on his own island right now. I think Austin.
But you don't think that made him think that they were willing to trade out Knies when he was actually scoring? Who was on the top line with him? Who last year couldn't get a sniff on the top line for some reason, which was weird.
I think Austin's. I mean, we know about Robidaw Island.
Yeah,
there's Matthews Island.
It has to make him think. What's this?
I don't
team
think Matthews
doing?
is losing a ton of sleep over this rumor. If I'm being honest with you,
you don't think he thinks what's this team doing when they're looking at trading their 23-year-old, like their biggest guy?
No, I got to be honest with you.
If I was Austin, it would put doubts in my mind
I don't,
about trusting the management.
I like Austin Matthews kind of like the only thing that happened to Austin Matthews where I said, yeah, I'd be upset at that was Gudas. In terms of anything else that's going on with this team, I don't know what really bothers Austin Matthews. I have to be honest with you. We've seen him operate for a long time in the city. I don't get the guy. I just don't understand.
You just watched Mitch Marner walk away, and the other guy who was on that line with him almost got traded for four assets that won't help you for years down the road.
Sorry, so I want to get your point clear because clarity is important.
Just not trusting management.
This rumor you're suggesting makes Austin Matthews more likely to ask for a trade out of town?
No, it made him say, let me see the plan of what you're thinking.
Well, he was saying that for a while too. Like, this is not a new thing for us.
Instigated even more.
We could debate that.
Okay.
I'm
just saying it could be a piece of it.
I think in terms of no, but hold on. Let me backtrack. In terms of the point of are we trying to win next year or not? Yes. Right. Correct. That's what Austin could ask.
100%.
So what is the plan? Because now I have no idea what they're doing.
If I'm only signed up for 2 years and you're bringing in 2 first-rounders that you're not even going to pick for 2 years and 2 prospects who are going to take a couple of years to come up, like, what am I doing? I need to see a plan that I want to be here. I'm just saying it could have ignited that conversation from him, and I would think Austin's right for it. This is the biggest reason I see Austin saying that.
Keep in mind, Knies wasn't on his line by the end of the year.
Right, dude,
it's
most
not
of the
like
year.
He needed Knies last year.
Yeah, but his best year before with Marner was with Marner and Knies. Yeah. And you saw Marner leave.
Marner was a big piece of that.
Yeah.
all due respect to Matthew.
I get it.
Shady McGuire in the chat. Everyone is up for a trade. Why would Knies be surprised to hear his name? Because he just re-upped. What do you mean why he would be surprised?
But didn't a piece come out? Didn't Friedge kind of throw him in there right before the deadline? Like they could listen because he doesn't have a no movement?
It was like the night before, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was really close.
Oh, I
to the
remember
deadline.
that. Yeah.
Because he's the only guy that really doesn't have a no movement that
You're
has
right.
value.
It was the night before, and everyone lost their you know what.
100%. Because they put the picture of Knies on the top, and it broke the internet or whatever. Or crashed Sportsnet site.
Let's put a pin in Knies. We'll come back to Knies. Speaking of Friedge, you know what? I am so tired of those poor American cities having their American captains ask out of town. It's been happening way too much. How does it feel like for an American city to have to deal with that for a change? That's what I thought of yesterday after Dylan Larkin reportedly asked for a trade. The captain of the Red Wings from his hometown team. This Canada narrative has been running amok. And here you have an American captain at home in Detroit saying, get me out of here. That's what Elliott reported yesterday, Dylan Larkin. He's got 5 years left on his deal at $8.7 million. And Azzo found the following clip just before the show. Well played, as a party. And I want to take you back to March the 5th. Dylan Larkin did an interview on NHL Network with Corey Schneider and Pat Maroon. Yes. I believe that was the duo.
I believe so.
On NHL Now, their show NHL Now. They get a ton of great guests on the show. And this was March the 5th. Now, keep in mind, as you're listening to this is Dylan Larkin speak about the Red Wings. They weren't in first place anymore, but they were still third in the Atlantic. They were 5 points clear of a playoff spot when this interview happens. This is an off day for the Red Wings. And Azzo, there might be moments in this where I ask you to pause it.
Okay. I'll be ready.
Because in hindsight, considering the news that came out yesterday, this is a bizarre interview from Dylan Larkin.
100%.
Bizarre. First voice you're going to hear is Corey Schneider. Go on.
Last 40 years, these names, Yzerman, Lidstrom, Zetterberg, Larkin, captains of the Detroit Red Wings. What would it mean for you to captain your team in the playoffs in your home state?
Yeah, I mean, it would mean a lot. I could tell you right now confidently, winning a Stanley Cup would mean a whole lot more than that. And that's the ultimate goal. Steve's our GM now, and I signed a 8-year deal here because I believe in him and I trust him. And
that lasted like 2-3 months.
Yeah, seriously.
That trust on Steve Yzerman lasted 2 or 3 months. Go ahead.
But hold on. Didn't he call him out at one trade deadline last year?
He did. He's been vocal multiple times, Dylan Larkin.
So what do you mean you trusted him? Are you sure? Anyway.
Like seeing this video right now, that's what it's all about. Not just making the playoffs, but trying to win. And I think in the meantime, I just love the game and I love coming to the rink. I love putting the skates on and playing in a Tuesday night, wherever it may be. It doesn't matter. I'll never get sick of it. And it truly is a privilege to play in the NHL, but also your hometown. And
it is truly a privilege to play in your hometown. Yep.
Until a decade later.
Yep.
The team, doesn't feel real sometimes, but I think as our team is growing, we're growing together, and Mo Seider and Lucas Raymond have helped take the pressure off. And it's not just about me. When you think about the Red Wings, it's about a handful to 10, 15 guys. And I think to be a winner, you need 25, 30 guys that are going to be, I guess not 30, but 25 guys that are important and all leaders.
In hindsight, that is a really strange piece of audio. Really strange.
In a short time.
So the moment that interview happened, again, the Red Wings were third in the Atlantic. They'd already slid a bit, but they were still there. The second that interview happened, the rest of the way, the Red Wings played 20 games and they won 6. They choked down the stretch. The Red Wings were a joke. a joke. And here we are on, the report was yesterday, June the 4th, yesterday, hearing from the top insider in the country that the captain of the Red Wings
From Michigan.
an American on an American team, what a flip of the script that is, wants out.
Yeah.
Now,
Can I add some?
go ahead.
Part of the U.S. Olympic winning team.
Didn't do much over there, but yeah, he want to go.
But he
back.
won.
Yeah.
He felt what it was like to win.
Yeah, and he felt good watching everyone else win.
Right.
Yes. His 3 points in 6 games were
Well,
highly,
but he's still a
highly
part of it.
significant. Yes, of course. Let's not see here. But I'm glad you brought that up because this is what I want to fight back on a little bit. The over glorification of Dylan Larkin.
Oh, no. We can go there for sure.
I want to go there first because Dylan Larkin has been to 2 All-Star games in 10 years.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay.
Noticed that too.
Do you know who makes the All-Star game from every team? One person in the NHL. He's made 2 in 10 years. Is that not weird? I find that weird. He's never been a great plus-minus player. We can have our discussions about plus-minus all you want. Like a consistent 30-goal guy. He's like the American John Tavares. Honestly.
It's true.
Like he's a good player. He's not a great player. And I can guarantee you he's not a number 1 center because they never win with him as a number 1 center. So, like, what piqued my interest here wasn't just Dylan Larkin asking out. It's a pretty shocking story. But he's been, as Azzo reminded, he's been vocal in the past. Like, Dylan Larkin is not a shrinking violet. He's not a wallflower. He'll say stuff. And Steve Yzerman doesn't seem like the type of guy who appreciates it. Now, as Frege mentioned this morning on his pod, no one, whether it's the Larkin camp or the Wings camp, have said anything publicly yet. And by the way, Frege did drop this one in very quickly. He believes this will not be the only high-profile trade request we see this summer. This will not be the only high-profile trade request. Put that in your back pocket.
Yes, I want to circle back on that.
Put
Please.
that in your back pocket.
Please let's circle back on that.
But let's stay here. One up theory in the chat. Trade Knies for Larkin. So here's what you're going to hear, and it makes sense. The Montreal Canadiens, eternally looking for a second-line center, and they have the assets to do it, go out and get a Dylan Larkin. Because I don't think Dylan Larkin is a 1C. I think he's the best 2C in the league, but I don't think he's a 1C. Nick Suzuki, that won the Selke today, there's your 1C. You imagine Larkin behind Suzuki on the depth chart there? That's not bad. If you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, John Tavares, based on everyone who was over at that World Hockey Championship, is already a winger. He's not a center anymore. He's already a winger. Like, people are already kind of putting him in pen on that side of the roster. So you're going to lose that center. I don't know where Austin Matthews is going to be in 2 years. Just on foresight alone, if you're the Leafs, it's something you should probably at least look at. Now, I don't know what Dylan Larkin's care is to come to Canada. That's another issue in this. But as a Detroit and Michigan kid, he's not unfamiliar with our country. If I'm the Leafs, I kind of look at that too. You'd be nuts not to. And there are a lot of teams that would do that. As a second C, he's not a 1C like that. He's not. Here's the reason why none of that will ever happen. Steve Yzerman is not trading inside his own division. That's not happening. I'm sure you can find a couple examples here or there where he's done it. It is irrelevant to this example. That is your captain and number 1 center. You think he's going to send them to a division rival? This is Bruce Cassidy and the Oilers and the Knights. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. And again, I'm assuming Larkin would even entertain it to either Montreal or Toronto. I have no idea. History lately in this league would suggest maybe not. But if there's a world where Steve Yzerman wants to play in the sandbox with his division rivals approaching July the 1st and the draft, now we're cooking with gas. Now there might be some real possibilities here for Dylan Larkin and some of the biggest sports properties in Canada. That's some content right there. So Asa, what happens here? Is Larkin blowing off steam?
I don't know, but it could get nasty.
But this
like
is
again,
serious,
a guy who's called you out.
This
You're
is
gonna help
serious
him out?
steam if he's blowing it off, though. This is like next level steam. Like him sitting there after the season in a press conference going, yeah, we should have gone all in at the deadline. And then Yzerman telling him to shut up. That's one type of steam.
Yeah.
This is serious.
No, it is. But to your point, like he's only played 5 career playoff games, and it was in his rookie season when Zetterberg was the captain and he was playing with Datsuk. Like to me, even at the end of that, well, Mo Sider's here to help me and thing. Like, captain, man, lead this team to the playoffs. And they do fall off when he's not there. He's had a couple of injuries the last couple of years.
They do feel it.
Huh?
They do feel it. And once in a while, he'll have to miss like X amount of games.
Yeah, he does.
He does have
He
that
always
history
does.
for sure. Again, I mean this. I think he's American John Tavares.
Yeah, no, it's fair. I think that's a
in
very fair
terms of
comparison.
how people view him and what the production is. It's not necessarily in simpatico.
Yeah.
So
and was a tipping point because everybody was counting them in the playoffs. They were solidified to make it.
They were first
until January, like in
It
mid-January.
was a crazy season for Detroit.
Everybody was saying that streak's over of not making the playoffs.
And I have a hard time believing. Like I know Dylan Larkin took a lot of heat. It wasn't just on one guy.
No.
There's something
can't be.
very wrong with how that team has been built.
Oh, for sure.
And that's on Yzerman, obviously.
That slide you talked about at the end of the year is ridiculous.
6 wins in 20 games after he gave that NHL Network interview.
No team should go
6
through that.
wins in 20 games. I don't know, man.
No, but my point about the Olympic team was, does this just confirm that all those conversations were happening? And then to Friedge's next report, where this won't be the only one, is that where all this is coming from?
Wow.
The Kachucks, the Hughes, Larkin, Matthews, Hellebuck, Trocheck, Sanderson, Werenski, who knows?
Okay, let's do this. Let's ask this one question, then we'll move on.
Okay.
Elliot Friedman today said Dylan Larkin will not be the only trade request this summer.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to pick one name who will follow, who is it? I don't care. I'm not asking where they're going. I'm not asking where they'd like to go, who would be interested. Different sets of conversations. We're looking for a name. Dylan Larkin is the first.
I got 2. Can't decide between.
You can only pick one?
Huh?
You can only pick one?
Let's say Hellebuck.
You think Connor Hellebuck's going to ask for a trade out of Winnipeg this summer?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That would be brutal for that market. Jonathan Taves retires.
And it was between him and Brady. A lot of people saying Brady in the chat.
I think it's a stone cold lock. It's Brady Tkachuk.
Okay. That was the other one I was choosing.
I really do. Because I think Austin Matthews would have maybe done it by now. I don't think he's doing it this year.
You know what's interesting about this report too, Dreger? He just kept reiterating how much both sides were pissed this got out. Because they want to work on this quietly. Like in what would that almost be better?
Okay, so let's play that game again.
Yeah.
So then how'd it get out?
No, I know. It's a great question. Great question.
How'd it get out?
But to your point where you don't want to look like the bad guy, like Austin wouldn't, right? So like the fact we hear nothing or anything, I don't know if it means anything.
But to your point, because and what you're referencing is Darren Dreger on Overdrive yesterday suggested
multiple times
that the Larkin camp's pretty pissed this got out.
And so's Detroit.
Okay, well then hold on.
It came from somewhere.
It got out. So if you're Larkin and you want to press the issue, what better way to press the issue? Yeah. Now, from everything I've heard of and seen of Steve Yzerman as a GM, he doesn't give a damn about any of that. He will operate at his pace. But if your captain's asking for a trade, it's a different dilemma.
But your hometown captain.
I have a hard time believing the Larkin camp didn't slide this out.
Michigan kid asking for a trade from the Michigan team? That's crazy.
I completely understand why the Wings would want this out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're done, is Dylan Larkin just going to sit? Because there's also a chance if you're Dylan Larkin and you're this upset, the whole summer goes by, Yzerman doesn't do a thing.
Dude, look what Marner did when he left here because he's from here. That was part of the ire of it.
He was a free agent, though.
No, but just because he left and because he's from here, how much it should mean. This is the same thing, except this is the captain of that team saying he wants out.
I think Dylan Larkin,
cannot look good like this.
Captain in that organization, an original six organization, is way worse than the Marner situation.
100%.
Way worse.
So that's why would Larkin want this out? Because it's going to make him look bad as a guy from Michigan wanting to be traded as the captain.
But listen. Welcome to the world of the player wants everything they want and they don't want the BS.
It's unreal.
That's not realistic.
That's what I'm saying.
That is an immature strategy because it's not possible.
I agree with you.
The only thing you can do in that moment, like let's say the captain of the Leafs one day in this city, like you brought up a couple of weeks ago, gives the Leafs 8 destinations and actually helps them out, and both sides can precipitate moving on
quietly.
That's a different thing to me. I will look at that differently, and we'll see how Larkin handles it.
But wouldn't it be better if they just did the trade and then you found out about all this later? Like, I could see why both sides would want it quiet. I'm just saying you can't trust anything now.
Again, Steve Yzerman does not appear to be the type of GM who gives a damn about your timeline.
Right. No, I agree with you.
Okay, so you agree with me.
Especially for a guy who called you out publicly.
So then leaking it would help Larkin, correct?
I don't know, though. I don't think so.
But you just agree with me.
I don't. But for Larkin's sake,
that's what
again, it doesn't matter. He's a Michigan kid asking to be traded from a Michigan team. Like, that can't make you look good in any kind of light. I don't care if they did.
Like I just said, there are players in this league who are not that bright. And they want everything their way.
I'm just saying it is crazy.
Guess what, Dylan? You're not going to get it your way. You're a solid hockey player, but you're not going to get everything your way as a Michigan kid and captain of the Wings who just gave that interview to Corey Snyder and Pat Maroon on March the 5th with effusive praise of everyone in the organization. Like, that looks nuts.
But that's what I mean.
That's a nuts interview to hear in hindsight.
You wouldn't see the backlash coming that he's from Michigan and wants to be off the Detroit Red Wings? Come on.
Here's the other thing.
That's insane to me.
It's hard here, and it's not my fault. I want out.
Yeah.
Really, Dylan Larkin? You had nothing to do with the slide this year? Really?
But that's why that part at the end, well, now there's guys here to help me. Like, it used to be all just on me.
Crazy. So finally, should the Leafs get Dylan Larkin?
Why not?
I think you got to make a phone call.
But again, in division,
you have to make a phone call. Centers and the Leafs right now are looking kind of dangerously thin.
It's the captain from his winning Olympic team who could call him and say, "Hey, why don't you come play 2C?"
I don't know how the States win that tournament without the 3 points in 6 games from Dylan Larkin.
Well, we can go around on that.
I don't know.
Come on.
No, honestly, I don't know.
We can go around on that.
I don't know.
Quinn
Hughes might as well stay at home if you get 3 points out of 6 games.
To me, it's not about the performance. It's about where these guys actually all talking about it. Like we heard about Marner talking to Vegas guys before. Was there these conversations and that a guy like Larkin, a captain from his home team, is jumping through this hoop is going to set off the tirade of guys doing it.
Here we go. Yeah. Chris in the chat. Stolars and a pick for Larkin. Let's go. Injured goalie.
Didn't they just trade a third? They just traded for a goalie last year, though. They're not going to do it again.
Yzerman will do that in a second.
Yeah.
What an offer.
Again, I'm with you. I don't think he trades them in division. I think
There's no chance. There's no chance.
Dude, what about your boy, Guerin in Minnesota? This seems like prime pickings for Guerin in Minnesota.
Potentially. Yeah. I would agree with that.
I think it's there. Utah. I saw LA somewhere. Somebody pitched out LA. Like now it makes a bit of a war. Like if Austin does decide something different or this gets out, there's multiple guys now. Maybe.
I mean, listen, Utah are primed to do something big.
Utah, they've been
in every rumor for 12
they can't
months.
Get guys to sign there, and they have assets.
I think, and
they're up and coming.
And that seems like a market that might do Dylan Larkin some good.
Yeah.
He's been in the cauldron of a hometown original six for a long time. And again, 2 All-Star games in 10 years. Whoa. That's not is that a number one center? I don't know. I'm asking. Is that a number one center? It's a weird number for me.
Maybe a young Ginla can make him a number one center.
Maybe.
Right? You want to go there and play with that kid?
Maybe Teach.
You want to go play with Teach?
We'll Teach again.
Yeah.
Okay, and we gotta move on. Anything else?
On this?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Again, Kristian Jack will be joining us from Montreal coming up here at 1:30.
Oh yeah, hurry up.
We've never done this before in show. Are you good? We're good?
I hope so.
Okay. No, we have.
We'll find out.
We've had plenty of guests on this show. So I'd say there's 7 seasons in Toronto and Southern Ontario. Winter, fall, spring, summer, patio, construction, Some would say construction is no longer a season. It's just the way it is in Toronto. And the final season is the one where Leaf fans just watch former Leafs win things. I've been seeing that season in this city for a long time. Let's go through the names here. Larry Murphy. Larry Murphy, it was justified how the booing came for Larry Murphy the way he played in the city. Just want to remind people. Phil Kessel leaves his town, wins a Stanley Cup with Pittsburgh. Larry Murphy with Detroit, in case you have forgotten. I need to mention that. You got Freddie Anderson in the Stanley Cup Final. Who's the name I'm missing? Oh, yeah, Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner is in the Stanley Cup Final. But there was another moment a while back that is creeping back into the Leaf discussion along those lines. And I want to take you back to the 2020 NHL entry draft. Before then, in the offseason prior to the pandemic hitting, the Leafs wanted to get rid of Patrick Marleau's contract. I think it was $6.25 million. And sorry, Azo, you need something?
No,
sorry, I saw a finger.
Sorry.
Not the middle finger. I just saw a finger. So the Leafs prior to the 2019 season, they wanted to get rid of Patrick Marleau's contract, a little over $6 million. And they had a draft pick, and they wanted to attach the pick to Marleau's contract just to move it. There's a lot of reasons to move a first-round pick. Shedding salary is not my favorite.
Crazy.
Like, I think the Habs did that. Did they not do that with like Sean Monahan with Calgary? They took a pick to take Monahan, and Monahan turned into a good player for them.
Yeah.
And then they flipped him for another pick. Like, it was one of the best Kent Hughes things ever. But I normally don't agree with that strategy. You don't see it a ton. I will give you a first-round pick so I can shed some salary. Like, that's a high price to pay. But the Carolina Hurricanes were like, yeah, no problem. No problem. There were conditions on it. If it was a top 10 first-round pick, the Leafs would keep the pick. Guess what? The pick dropped to 13. So the 2020 entry draft comes along. The 13th pick is no longer Toronto's. It belongs to Carolina. It's because of the pandemic. It's a remote draft. I know a lot of you have blocked this memory out for obvious reasons. But the 13th pick came around. Don Waddell, who's running Columbus, was running the Hurricanes back then. And remotely, this is who they took at 13 in 2020.
13th selection in the 2020 NHL draft will be made by Carolina Hurricanes President and General Manager Don Waddell.
Carolina Hurricanes are proud to select from the Portland Winterhawks Seth Jarvis.
Great emotion there. Seth Jarvis selected by Carolina. You think about 2020. Listen, it's not a year that anyone's loving. A lot of people would say 2020 sucks. Seth Jarvis, his 2020 got off to a pretty great start, though, because this is a guy through his first 32 games of the season on a good path. He had 15 goals, 20 assists. But the calendar turns to 2020. Jarvis did not disappoint. Final 26 games of the season. 27 goals, 36 assists, 63 points.
He's an Olympian. Seth Jarvis is an Olympian and is 3 wins away from winning a Stanley Cup. Having been in numerous Eastern Conference finals, by the way. And he scored the game winner last night in overtime in a fantastic hockey game. I would like to add the Jarvis name to the festivities that take place whenever the Leafs and their fan base reminisces about people leaving and winning. I know Seth Jarvis was never technically in town, but getting rid of $6.25 million in cap space and the price of Seth Jarvis still sucks to me. While you watch him score an overtime Stanley Cup Finals goal. The first Leaf management in many years who stops garbage like this is going to be successful. I guarantee you. But this type of absent-minded BS is going to lead you to where they are today, which is nowhere. They have no plan. They are nowhere. And again, Seth Jarvis hasn't won the cup yet. He hasn't. Neither is Freddie Anderson or Mitch Marner. But someone in that group is going to. And of all the reasons why Larry Murphy left town and Phil Kessel and Freddie Anderson, like Larry Murphy wasn't great here. Phil Kessel was like okay here. Freddie Anderson was good sometimes, not so good sometimes. Mitch Marner chose to leave. All of those I'm fine with it. Giving up the Seth Jarvis pick, I'm not good on. I don't feel good about that. And Leaf fans don't talk about that enough. You might be talking about it soon in about 10 days. And I know he hasn't been setting the world on fire lately. Whatever. He's been a huge piece of their team for a long time. Major force in the room, on the ice. Seth Jarvis. And he's not the guy who just has funny friends that follow him around. That's not Seth Jarvis's deal. He's a hell of a hockey player and a leader. Well. As I just wanted to put Seth Jarvis on the table.
No, it's a great point. I think people need to be reminded by that.
Yes.
And just why they traded away that trade, which was almost a top 10 pick, 13.
We need to create cap space, take a first rounder.
And I feel like they've done it more than once.
That's so absent-minded, man. That's why the Penguins are never doing anything.
The Raptors might do it this year.
You think the Raptors are going to do that?
I think you could attach that 19th pick to get rid of some of the contracts they're under. Maybe. Anyway,
is Emmanuel Quickly the contract?
No, it's not.
I would never attach a first
rounder is a lot.
That's a big price, man.
Yeah,
I'll take back a slightly less bad contract, but to put firsts on that, in what world, in hindsight, is Patrick Marleau and a first?
No, that's
a good trade for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
It is insane.
That's so dumb.
And to your point, those are the picks you give up on that allow you to have depth. Even if you don't hit 100% on it, it's not a superstar. It's a guy who's his character gets him onto Team Canada. And it's a depth you need. Is he on their third line right now? Whatever. He's the depth you need to make a run.
Well, let's talk about that depth. So last night's hockey game, Game 2 of the Cup Final, 2-2, 5 minutes to go. Barbashev thinks he scores, and they wave it off. Azo, hit me with the picture from above on where the puck is and where the stick of Barbashev is. For the listening audience, Freddie Anderson at no point is covering this puck up.
It's crazy.
He never does it.
I agree.
Ever. On any replay. There's a stick coming from the bottom of the screen. It's Barbashev, who, like a responsible player for the Golden Knights, scores a goal. You know why? Because the puck's loose. You know how I know? Because I'm looking at it right now. Not only did the official on the ice wave it off, I'm not mad at the official. It's the video room that are idiots.
Crazy.
And John Tortorella, like he should have, challenges the call. Somehow they don't call this a goal. And Tortorella gets hit with a 2-minute penalty. And shortly thereafter, the Canes take a 3-2 lead. And, eventually Mark Stone ties it up and then Seth Jarvis in overtime.
Obviously, turning point of the game.
Turning point of the game. I can't believe they called this Freddie Anderson controlling the puck.
And the ref was right there.
Ref was right there. So after the game, you had a feeling John Tortorella might be in a mood. So here's what I've done. Keep in mind, John Tortorella was recently fined $100,000 and the team was docked a second-round pick for not doing media availability properly, i.e. not showing up. Torts showed up last night in Carolina. I think this clip is like a minute 20 seconds-ish. He's asked 7 questions. That's a lot for a minute 20. This is classic Torts. I'm going to play you the whole thing. This is Tortorella, front to back last night after the game. I believe Chris Johnston gets the first question.
Can you take us through what you were thinking on the challenge there, what you saw and how you felt?
I saw a loose puck in front of Freddie. Our player stabbed it, didn't move the goalie, and it goes through him and to the other side. I challenge it 10 out of 10 times.
Right side front row, Ken.
The first 50 minutes of that game, you guys did quite a good job of making them have a really hard time to get anything. Obviously, it didn't go that way the last 10. Do you feel like you can take enough out of those first 50 to move forward?
Yes.
We'll go right side, third row. Mike.
John, just, how scary was it to see with what happened to Braden? How's he doing? And
I haven't talked to the medical people yet.
What do you think of the 5 guys that had to rally for 2 periods on the back?
Yeah, they played well.
Other questions? Left side, second row, Jesse.
John, the penalty kill had obviously been great in the game. They get those 2 in a row at the end. Did you see anything different in the penalty kill?
I haven't looked at the clips yet.
Anything else?
Wow.
Right side, third row.
Every playoff run seems to have moments where you learn about your team, a different moment. What was the moment that you learned more about this team in these past 2 games?
We have a good team, a very good team.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Left side, back row.
You talked about the first 50 minutes. What can you tell us about what you think changed and added to their momentum?
I have my thoughts. I'm not discussing it here.
Other questions? Thanks, Sean.
And scene. Wow. Wow.
Viper in the chat. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
Oh, Viper.
Might as well.
Nailed that. Oh,
True. If he doesn't get in trouble earlier in the playoffs,
what a miserable human
he
being.
wouldn't have talked.
What a miserable human being. Honestly, Vegas, I brought this up yesterday. I mean it. A Trojan torts. Let him go after this. Let Edmonton sign him. Disaster.
Agreed.
Trojan torts. Let him go in Edmonton. Let him ruin it.
Torts and Spec.
Oh my
That'll
God.
be some.
Oh my God. Slosh Hogger in the chat. No one cares. Work harder.
Yeah.
That's basically that. Yep. Basically, shout out the Barry Colts.
Blue Cheese Over Ranch, the moderator. Any more questions? Like he's hoping nobody wants
He's
to.
trying.
He's True Mega saying, yeah, just Torts being Torch just doing Torts things.
Breaking sick media news.
Oh boy.
I will be on the Tony Marinaro podcast tonight talking about Matthew Knies.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Not your type of show.
Gonna
Right?
interrupt my Friday night? Now I gotta.
No, he wants to. I want to record it after the show.
Oh,
he's
okay,
asked.
okay.
He's literally texted
All
Tony.
right, all
Tony, love you, Tony. Texted me during the show, so we'll do it.
So you got to bring another tech in to record it.
Yeah, basically, because you got to take your 9-hour break. What a miserable person Torts is. I thought that was one of the
That'll be
funniest
fun.
things.
You and oh man,
That was Torts is hilarious, and I can't stand him at the same time.
It's true.
I'm sorry. I want it both ways.
That-
All right.
He does make you feel that way, which is insane.
That's so good. Okay. They brought up Braden McNabb in the presser. Can we just can we talk about this puck off the face? I think it was 87 miles an hour from Nick Ehlers in the first period.
I can't even look at it.
No update today, by the way, from Tortorella. So we don't know much more. He took that. I was kind with that photo for the listening audience. It's seconds before Braden McNabb takes this slap shot off the grill. And Azzo, I'm getting... Look, Vegas knows full well what it's like when a team is out there in a big series and their number one defenseman's not useful.
Yeah.
Ask the Avs about that life. Braden McNabb changes things in the series if he cannot go out there.
100%.
We don't know what happened to his jaw. We don't know if his nose is in a million pieces. No one's sure yet. Not to say he won't try, because this is the playoffs. And McNabb is a pretty good defenseman. So we'll see. But I just want to spare a thought for Braden McNabb because that sucked. That did not look pleasant.
All over timelines on social, and yeah, I can't watch it every time.
Goodness.
It sucks for him too. Yeah, get to this point. They looked a little bit banged up, Vegas, after that game. Mitch looked like he was limping. Stone looks like he's.
Well, I
hurting.
mean, and
They all are.
to the surprise of nobody.
No, of
Yeah,
course.
for sure. Todd Pickles in the chat. McNabb 3 assists in game 1. Yep,
Yeah.
good reminder.
Great point.
Because Theodore had the rough start to game 1,
Yep.
and he figured it out too. Theodore was fantastic at the end of the first game. So hopefully Braden McNabb is okay. If he's not,
Definitely
huge advantage to Carolina.
series changer, maybe. It's true.
We mentioned the Montreal Canadiens a few times in the show. And a reminder after the Habs got eliminated on that Friday night. Was it last week?
Yeah.
My God. Feels a lot longer than that. A week ago tonight, the Habs lost game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final. Was it a week ago tonight?
2 weeks ago? I don't know. Yeah.
It's all blending together. Forgive me. That Friday night they lost, whatever that was. It was in Carolina. And then the next Saturday, the Habs were at Luke Combs. And Luke Combs, by the way, is in Toronto tonight. You want to go?
Wait, where is it?
It's at Rogers Stadium.
It was May 29th. Yeah.
It was May 29th. Yeah, okay. So the Habs did that right after a brutal effort against Carolina to end that series. And I was a little critical of the Montreal Canadiens leadership group for doing that the next night. Like they got eliminated Friday night by Carolina. Saturday night, they're at Luke Combs. And not just at Luke Combs, on stage with Luke Combs.
Shotgun and beers.
Look at us. We're here with Luke Combs. Not in the back of the beer garden just talking to their partner or whatever, and then someone interrupts them. No, it wasn't like that. On stage. So, Isaac Curry in the chat. Say sorry, Sid. No, I'm not going to. So I said some things that were critical of that, and I stand by every word I said. Surprisingly, some people disagreed with it. And I was sent this clip this week from the BPM Sports Radio Network in Montreal, and it's the morning show Le Club du Matin. Is that the right way to say it?
Yep.
And it's the morning club, right? Yeah. That's basically what it translates to. Le Club du Matin. It's a very popular show. I'm not familiar. I've been told it's a very, very popular show. And they brought up my comments. Now, I want to play a game with everyone listening and watching and with Azo. As you listen to this clip, ask yourself this question. Do the hosts on the show agree with my take about the Habs or disagree with it? The whole clip's in French. I picked up certain parts of it. I couldn't pick up others. But ask yourself this as you're watching and listening to the clip from BPM radio show Le Club du Matin. Du Matin?
Yeah.
What did I say?
I don't know. It sounded differently.
Oh, really? All of a sudden, Johnny Paris over here is telling me how to speak French.
Oh, somebody's about to tell you how to speak French.
Oh, I know. So do these radio hosts, sports radio hosts in Montreal, agree with the take that I had criticizing the Habs for going to Luke Combs the day after getting eliminated by Carolina? Do they agree or don't agree? Listen to this.
Tombé les gars sur le commentaire de Sid Seixeiro hier. Il s'est mis pas si vous êtes tombés, les gars, sur le commentaire de Sid Seixeiro hier. Il s'est mis à partir sur une envolée que les joueurs du Canadien avaient pas leur place au spectacle de Luke Combs, puis qu'ils n'avaient pas fourni assez d'efforts dans la série contre les Hurricanes, puis qu'ils devraient être gênés de se présenter en public.
En tout respect, là, tu sais pas qu'est-ce que les gars passent à travers dans une saison, là. Ils sont supposés de faire quoi? Se tourner en boule dans leur divan et tout ça, là?
Hey, on parle d'une finale d'association, là. Il y a de quoi célébrer quand même, malgré tout. C'est pas la Coupe Stanley, mais...
C'est tout à fait normal. Mais lui, il sait pas. Il pense qu'il sait, comme plusieurs, mais il sait pas parce qu'il a pas été là. Les gars travaillent toute l'année pour arriver au bout de faire les playoffs et tout ça. C'est un commitment extraordinaire. Beaucoup de pression, soir après soir après soir. Tous les jours, la pression. Tous les jours, ça fait frapper. Tous les jours, tu sais, voyager. Les 3 games en 4 soirs. Il sait pas que c'est que ça prend de passer à travers une saison de hockey. Je regrette, non, mais il sait pas. Fait que si tu le sais pas, ferme ta de gueule, pis chiale pas. Pis que les gars aillent prendre 3-4 bières le lendemain qu'on s'est fait éliminer, on s'en tue ben raide, sérieusement, là. C'est tout à fait normal.
So did they agree with the take? Or disagree with the take?
That did not sound toujours fun.
That was not toujours fun.
Not at all.
As of now I picked up certain things like it's a long season and you work hard and it was like there's certain things I understood.
Did I hear Ferme Labouche on there? No.
There might have been a Ferme Labouche. Coach in the chat. They agree 100%. I don't think they do. Okay.
You can swear on BPM, eh?
Hey man, you can swear on any outlet right now.
That's fair.
Things have changed. I don't like to swear on this one.
So good.
But I've never been cussed out in French before in my life.
Dude, you did
I've
it already.
never been cussed out in French.
Tony might do it today. Be careful.
I know.
What time? Oh, we're taping it. Yeah.
DLL in the chat. They disagree with you, Sydney. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Appreciate it. But again, it was like Martin St. Louis and a bunch of players, and like, it's not like the owner Jeff Molson was at the Luke Combs concert with him. Wait a second, he was there, Jeff Molson. Someone tweeted this at me last night. Jeff Molson drinking, wait for it, a Molson.
Yeah, maybe that's
Was
why.
at Luke, the owner of the Habs was there as well. He's running the whole night.
Jack Hockey in the chat says the whole management crew was at that
Everybody
concert
was
today.
there.
I told you.
Was Tony there?
Maybe. You ask him
I'm going to
tonight.
ask him coming up.
tonight.
I'm going to ask Marinero.
You might not ever be allowed to order poutine again.
But he is the boss, too.
He is.
Like, I can't.
They obviously sponsored whatever bar is there, so.
Should I feel differently now that Jeff Molson was also taking
But he
the
didn't
Luke
go on
Combs one?
stage. Somebody snapped this picture of him.
Yeah,
That
but
was
he-
your point, right?
But it is a great picture of like
It is.
Jeff Molson drinking a Molson.
Yeah, it is.
That is a pretty good
At
pic.
a great event in Montreal.
So should I feel differently about the story because Jeff Molson was there organizing the whole
Hey,
thing?
that's your call. I'm not telling you how to feel. Come
No, listen. I'll do the initial take, but you take the bullets on the next one.
on. Okay, fair enough.
Give me the next take.
I guess if he okayed it, he's like, here, guys, go celebrate.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, good run. It was a good run, right? We're not
Maybe-
just climbing.
all I'm saying is like that photo of Jeff Molson makes me take like a half step back on the take.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Just a half step. I still didn't like it at all.
If they
The
took
ne-
him to
my
seven-
issue was the next night, Azo. You understand?
No,
my
your
point.
issue was that
The
they got their
next
ass
night.
kicked for 4
Yes.
games. So if they took him to 7 games and then went out and partied and it was a hard fought loss, would you be more okay with it? It's because they got their ass kicked in historic
Listen,
fashion.
again,
Couldn't get a shot on net.
No.
People paid money to go at the Bell Center and they laid eggs at home game after game after game. It is a bit of a bad look. I got where you were coming from.
That's what I was saying. If it was like a 7-game series, 6-game series, I'm not saying that.
And
I
especially,
truly am not saying that.
especially because they couldn't play at home.
Jack in the chat. Come on, Sid. You were at the concert too. I was not in Montreal last Saturday.
Oh man.
Um,
What if Tony's bringing Jeff on with you? To
but
give
this
you
is
a-
my point. Viper in the chat. This is what I'm saying. Just don't do it the next night.
What are they going to do? Ask Luke Combs to hold off on the concert? Come on.
You can't fly into Toronto for that concert if they're Montreal Canadiens.
Oh yeah. Maybe
I got news for you. There's a bunch of Habs fans who would probably sing "Ole Ole Ole" at Rogers Stadium. I guarantee you that. Oh yeah.
apparently, did you see the pictures? Real Sports was packed with Habs fans on certain nights to watch games. Like packed.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe it. Okay. I just wanted the Jeff Molson photo threw me for a loop. I was not aware he
Drinking
was there.
a Molson. I'm like, as long as he's drinking Molson, it's good.
And the caption for it, let me read you the caption.
Can you see it in the pic?
No, I cut it out.
Jeff Molson was there too.
No, there was someone quote tweeted it.
Oh, okay.
And it's just said a guy named Matt, and he said Sid Seixeiro is about to have a full blown meltdown. And it's a video of Jeff Molson walking around.
Again, it was more the fashion they lost in. By the way, Marty watched that last night.
Yeah.
Like, Brindamore changed his lines for the first time since January.
Yeah, he put it in the grinder a little bit. Yeah, he did.
Like, you have to do that eventually,
Once
right?
in a while. Hey, Martin St. Louis.
Yeah, I hope he took notes. I
Oh,
hope he took notes.
By the way, we should also mention, because we're going to move off the Habs here in 2 seconds. Cole Caulfield won the Lady Byng today, and Nick Suzuki won the Selke for best defensive forward.
Come up to Toronto. Let's go to Luke Combs and
Luke
celebrate.
Combs, Ty,
Let's
come on
go.
up.
Come on.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I have no idea what the Lady Byng is about.
Yeah, it's true.
It is the weirdest. Like remember Cole Caulfield for the 51 goals and the no empty netters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like who won last year's Lady Byng exactly. I have no idea. What is the lady like most sportsman like? It's just a weird trophy to me.
It is.
I'm sure Cole Caulfield's happy and he's got escalators in his contract and he's good with it. But like, someone explain to me the relevance of the award. Cole Caulfield did like 90 other great things this year, better than winning the Lady Byng that I'll remember. You know what? Maybe they need a big winger on that team, like a Matthew Knies or something. Right? Big winger. Why not?
Exhibiting the best type of sportsmanship.
Easy.
And gentlemanly conduct combined with a high standard of playing ability.
Ferme LaBouche, man.
I know, sorry.
Ferme LaBouche.
So sportsmanship and gentlemanly conduct combined with a high standard of playing ability.
Let me get back to Tony Marinero from the Sick Podcast.
All right. Let him know.
Hey, Tony, period. I can do it after the show, period. Take care, period.
Please don't yell at me in French, period.
Should I put periods down there when I voice dictate like that, or am I a loser? I feel like it's good grammar to have periods.
Yeah. You do it all the time. I'm
Yeah.
used to it.
Can we talk about the Jays before Kristian Jack joins
I'm getting
us?
yelled at because I said the Habs got kicked. They got their ass kicked in all 4 games they lost.
Yeah, no, they did on the shot clock. They did. Yes, Yes.
They got their ass kicked the
Yes.
last 2 games, Azzo. 2
No.
and 3 were OT games, which they were, but they should have won.
They were lucky OT games.
Yes.
You shouldn't have even got there. The shots were ridiculously lopsided.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4 straight games of that. Don't do that, Habs fans. You're way better than that. Way better. Don't do that. Wasn't close.
The entire playoffs, they never lost 2 games in a row, and then all of a sudden dropped 4 straight. Anyway.
Coach in the chat. Lady Bing, a guy I wouldn't mind marrying my daughter. It's a nice guy. Cole Coffey looks like a nice guy. He's well liked in that room.
Related to Chandler. No.
What?
From Friends, Chandler Bing.
See, I don't remember Friends the way you do.
Really?
I honestly, I don't have that series memorized. I don't. One
day we'll do a ranking of sitcoms.
Oh, that'll get people pissed.
You know what came up in my timeline today?
People pissed.
What's his name? Minonori Kawasaki has a clothing brand now, and like based on his.
Is it called Bush Party?
No, it's called Monkeys Don't Cramp. Remember when he said he eats
God.
I swear
the lines
to God.
of Barry?
Yeah.
That's quite something.
And there was a video of him with
That's
his
quite
kids
something.
wearing the apparel and the theme of Full House playing. It was hilarious. They were making like a banana bread or something.
Dude, if I'm Sportsnet, I'd try Mooney.
Well, seriously. He's trying to venture off.
Mooney is one of the funniest human beings I've ever seen. The fan base loves him.
Yeah.
He played in Japan and here in the. It's not like he doesn't have experience.
No, it's true.
Like, and didn't he almost break the Shohei news? In Japan?
yeah,
Do you remember
yeah. He was in
Munenori
on something,
Kawasaki
yep.
had some quotes that started to run?
Yeah.
And people in Toronto were freaking out.
He had a better run than other people. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Go check it out. It's actually pretty funny.
I miss Kawasaki.
Same.
I do. I genuinely miss Kawasaki. So I don't know how the Jays did this last night, but they won.
It's crazy.
Chris Sale on the mound. Like they got Chris Sale for 3 runs over 5 2/3, but it was a very interesting evening.
Yeah.
And the bats were there. That hasn't been there in a while. But the highlight of the evening was Chad Dallas.
Without a doubt.
Chad Dallas, they called up Monday because obviously there's a bunch of injuries the Jays are dealing with. Chad Dallas had Tommy John, I believe, in 2024. He's been fighting for a chance to get to the majors. He made his MLB debut last night. He was called up Monday. Monday was Lou Gehrig Day in Major League Baseball in terms of bringing awareness to ALS. And Chad Dallas's dad, about a year ago, died of ALS. Believe it or not. So the day you put ALS in the spotlight is the day Chad Dallas got the call up from the Jays, which was Monday. So he's in there yesterday for the first time, and he was great. He was like 3 2/3, an earned run, struck out a couple, but a very meaningful moment in a lot of ways for Chad Dallas. And after the game, he talked about what this meant for him to be called up this week, which is Lou Gehrig week in Major League Baseball, and he talked about his dad for a little bit. This was quite something.
Emotional, very emotional. Getting the call on Lou Gehrig's day was, I don't even know if I can talk about this too much. About a year after my dad passed away from ALS, it was extremely special, like a little God wink. And just, tons of emotions. Dreamed of this day since, I was 3 or 4, once I started realizing what professional baseball was, and tons of emotions, sad, tons of happy, super excited. But overall, it was an amazing experience.
Look, this season has been kind of blah for the Jays.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a top 5 moment for me.
100%.
What that kid did last night and what it meant for his family.
It's up there.
I'm sorry.
It's up there with
that
great
is
debates.
incredible.
Yep.
Incredible.
Get chills about it. And he had some swag. I loved it.
Anything else you want to add on Chad Dallas here before?
No, it was a great showing. We'll see. Probably he's getting sent down today, sadly, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Simeon
Right?
Woods Richardson is going to get activated today, it sounds like.
So that sucks. But yeah, the whole story is great. Brings some more light to ALS. I know I
think
wore
so.
my baseball is the best shirt earlier. Forgot to acknowledge it, but yeah, for sure.
Nope, that's great. That's great.
And yeah, the fact they got to Chris Sale yesterday, a guy who had an under 1 ERA at home. He strung a bunch of hits together. Vladdy had 3 hits. Come on.
I was floored.
Does it just show how hard it is to sweep a full series?
I
in
was
baseball?
floored. They won
Me too.
7-2 the
Me
night
too.
Chris Sale
It
is on the mound. By the way, we might as well do this now because he's a massive Atlanta Braves fan on top of it. We're exactly a week away from Canada and Bosnia-Herzegovina in the World Cup on Canadian soil. World Cup begins for Canada in 7 days. They're in Montreal tonight for their final warm-up. It is a very significant game for any World Cup nation, the final warm-up. Ireland and Canada tonight from Saputo Stadium in Montreal. He's been one of the best soccer journalists in this country for years, from OneSoccer, and he's part of TSN's crew for the World Cup. Kristian Jack. Kristian Jack.
Sydney, great to see you, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. Give me the breakdown of Chris Sale last night. How did the Jays pull that off?
Yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. It's been a tough couple of years for us Braves fans, but this year's been going well so far. So.
You guys seem that Walt Weiss knows what he's doing.
He's calm. A little different.
Very calm.
Yeah, that's been the word for coaches. But Walt Weiss loves it, and Jesse Marsch loves it. It's been the trending calm topic of the week.
Well, let's dive in, shall we? Look, how much time do you got? Like, there's a lot here.
I don't have to be at the stadium until 4. So
yes. 3-hour edition of the Sid Seixeiro Show, powered by Sick with Kristian Jack.
Whoa! I'm not sure your listeners would appreciate that.
Oh, I think you are incorrect, sir. All right, KJ, we love you. We appreciate you, man. First thing, elated you are on the TSN crew. This is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience in so many ways.
Thank you.
And you deserve to be in front of a 6 million person TV audience. Maybe I'm overshooting it, but I don't think I might. So good for you, man.
Appreciate that. You just talked about the Jays. I think there's a hope for Canada soccer to try and get to that level, right? What
I think they can.
What this country saw last year. It's you don't need me to tell you this. You and I have been talking footy for over 20 years. It's the World Cup. There's nothing bigger.
I mean, and just try and wrap your head around a round of 32 game with Canada in this country.
Right.
Like, whoa. Yeah. Okay, the vibe. How would you describe it, KJ? Like, there's the injury news. We finally have a number one goalie in Crépeau.
Yeah.
Davies talks, and then he talks differently here, and he's talking differently here. How, in a word, describe the vibe.
Well, I think internally calm is the description. I think externally disjointed would be the word I would go with. Disjointed in a lot of ways, the messaging, just a lot of different things. But we have stories and we have things to talk about. So that's a good thing for us. It's definitely newsworthy whenever we go. Like yesterday, we had a feeling going to the press conference. It was going to be the day that they announced the new goalkeeper for the World Cup, because it had gone on way too long. And Jesse Marsch had alluded to the fact that he was going to make the decision between the Edmonton game on Monday and the Friday night game here in Montreal. On TSN, when I was on Wednesday or Tuesday, it's all coming together now. But I said that I felt like he was going to do it in front of us. Jesse Marsch kind of likes to get that messaging across, kind of a control thing, but also just to backing his man. You know, he's always done this I'm big on body language in press conferences. And from day one, when Jesse Marsch did his first press conference, I thought it was fascinating when you sit up there with a press conference with a coach and a player. And when the player speaks, a lot of the time the coach looks straight ahead. He's not doing that. He's always looking at him. Always, because there's always this kind of like fatherly mentor figure, and I think that we saw that yesterday. So lots to get into, mate. You know, Bombito's future at the World Cup is up in the air as well. So there's a lot of stories.
There definitely is. Let's get. How about we get the Davies thing out of the way, and then we can focus on tonight, Bombito and Crépeau, because Crépeau deserves a whole chapter in and of themselves. So let's do Davies. Did you hear we talked to him a little bit?
I did.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, great job.
Thank you. I heard he talked to you guys too, and it was a little different at times. Again, it feels like the message now is, he's not playing next week unless he does, and he's a quick healer, and we're not ruling out anything, but the plan is for him not to play unless he does.
Yeah.
From a PR messaging standpoint here, KJ, what has happened, and why has it kind of gotten away from Canada soccer a little bit?
Okay, so 4 weeks ago, Alphonso Davies suffered another injury in the Champions League against PSG, and that was significant because it was his third one since recovery from his ACL injury. And at that point, everybody was really questioning whether he was going to be playing in the opening game of the World Cup. Alphonso Davies didn't do too much media. Vincent Kompany, obviously the football legend that he is, won Premier Leagues with Manchester City, is the current coach of Bayern Munich, said he really felt for Fonzie. And we found out from Jesse Marsch that he's been in a lot of good discussions with Bayern Munich and different things. And, you know, there's a lot of mixed messaging coming out of there. We hadn't got a chance to speak to Alfonso much at all. I know that he traveled to Spain to do some recovery in hot weather recovery to try before he traveled to Canada. And then he arrived in Edmonton, I heard, on the day of the game. He was supposed to be the night before, but I think it was the day of the game. And we saw that video that Canada Soccer put out of him greeting his teammates. We then got a chance to speak to Alfonso Davies afterwards, which was Canada Soccer's decision in the press conference to bring him to that press conference. And I asked him directly, what are your chances of making it for the first game? And he didn't rule it out. And he said, anything's possible, different things like that. Jesse Marsch then said, unprompted at the very end of that press conference, we want to go as far as we can to give Alfonso Davies an opportunity to play. At that moment, I think he tried to steer people to thinking that he wasn't going to play that day. He subsequently then, obviously, your great interview got released where he ruled himself out. That's obviously been pulled, and that's a different story. And then we got to Montreal, and he spoke again on Wednesday, which is very, very unusual, where he clarified some of his status and obviously talked a little bit about the emotional toll of all the injuries. And again, did not rule himself out. So we saw him train here yesterday. We're at the stadium. I think the longer this goes on, the higher likely it is that we may have a chance to see him. I'm not saying he's going to start next Friday in Toronto, but we are not getting anybody ruling this player out right now publicly. And if they wanted to do that, they could have done that very quickly. They do not want distractions. They do not want, Jesse Marsch understands, but maybe irritated is a bit of a strong word, but just get a little bit irritated from some of the questions around injuries, which are, I think, taking away from some of the storylines that he wants to talk about the players on the field. But who are we kidding? This is Alfonso Davies. This is a megastar, the captain of the team, and who hasn't played for Canada since March of last year in the Nations League. So we all want to know if he's going to play, and that's our story to try and cover.
It is fascinating. And again, and KJ, someone in the chat was just like, guys, why all this attention on Davies? And I'm like, well, because as a teenager who changed positions for Bayern Munich, they wanted to play him so bad. Like of course, you guys, about Davies, but I don't think you know about Davies like that. It is an interesting moment here, KJ, in terms of there's a lot of sporting worlds in this country kind of colliding upon this event, and there are different takes. One more question on Davies, because you're right. It's been they're not ruling him out. So everything you've seen from him in practice, everything you've heard from your sources behind the scenes, if you were going to pick a game where we see him for the first time, what's the game?
I'll pick the first game right now.
Really?
Yeah. Just because I think there's a real chance that he gets on the field. Now, everything is situational. And if they are winning the game against Bosnia and they're in a comfortable spot in the second half and it's 2-0, why would you necessarily do that? But this is a World Cup, and you don't get many second chances.
Yep.
And that first game is absolutely enormous. And that's why they're not ruling him out right now, because that first game is as important a game as Canadian soccer has ever seen. Not only the fact that it's playing in their own country, in their own stadium in Toronto, where they call home, but the fact that this team is at the peak of its powers right now, the undisputed best team this country has ever produced for a men's World Cup, and they've never won a game in a World Cup. So I don't care if this game was played in Toronto or Tokyo or wherever, this would still be the biggest game in this program's history. It just happens to be in this country. So many players have told me who played in the past World Cups, the first game is everything for teams like this. And if it doesn't go well that first game, it's going to be very difficult to pull that back, albeit the second game is probably the easiest opponent in Qatar. It doesn't matter. You've got to get the momentum and move it forward. So I think that's why we haven't seen him being ruled out. And if you can find a way to get him on in a substitute appearance, regardless of the scenario, then that would be, I think, would be great for Canadians.
I'll take 20 minutes from Davies next Friday. I'm fine with that. Listen, I'm a little neurotic, and the visual of him, I don't even want to go here, KJ, but him re-injuring that in front of a billion people on television is not something anyone wants, obviously. So my concern is, especially with the Jesse Marsch Overdrive interview that happened a couple of days ago, where he was just like, he's a quick healer, guys. He's a quick healer. I don't like that talk. It makes me nervous. It makes me uncomfortable. We've heard how vulnerable he can be in front of the media lately, Alfonso Davies. He's not the same guy we've known down through the years. This has changed a little bit with Davies, clearly. And he's looking at the big picture, and he's faced his own professional mortality here in a way, and he's really struggling with it. So I just hope that takes precedence going forward into next week when you are on the field next to Shinetti and TSN has a 13-hour pregame show, justifiably so. By the way, when are you guys getting going next Friday?
I believe it's a 3-hour pregame show. There's a lot of people involved in it. I think I got a couple of hits there, but I'm going to be at training all week with James Duthie and also stuff on OneSoccer too. So yeah, it'll be busy.
I cannot express fully, and I've done this on and off air now, how happy I am that Kristian Jack is in that fold. And this is a once in a lifetime moment, brother. I'm so happy for you.
No, blessing. It's you know me though. It's not about me. It's about the players. But just the privilege to tell that story. It'd be great.
Okay. For the record, he texted me and said, "Make it about me off air." So just, I'm kidding. Azo, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you pull up the picture, the Paraguay USA picture that I saw earlier, and bring that up if that's possible?
The pregame stuff.
The pregame stuff.
Yep.
To your point, KJ, in terms of being on the field for the first game, I don't know if you've seen this, but this is the reported new setup that FIFA would like to have for the walkouts and the national anthems.
Right.
I don't know if this is unison across the board in all the venues, but to the point you just made, and for the listening audience, it's two flags that consume the field with pyro. Like it's very similar to kind of the World Club Cup walkouts from last year in North America.
Yeah.
Like to avoid this, KJ, to your point, no human being wants to do that. Like you would do everything in your power to be part of this kind of setting.
For sure. No, it's special. I mean, you and I have talked football for a long time. And I know you've got a lot of great sports fans who may be tuning in to talk about, different sports and listen to you, but there's no tournament like the World Cup. There just isn't. And it's an inflated World Cup. It's 48 teams. We can get into if you want, whether that's too many games, different things, but it's unique. It's special. It's every 4 years. And I would just say, me, I'm a massive sports fan. I think this country is ready for it. And what I mean by that is that we've had the Olympics, which I was really privileged to go to and watch a few games in Milano with my family and hockey. And we've seen what the impact of the Four Nations is. And this is a sports industry, a sports culture in Canada that is geared mainly down through the professional game of club sport, let's call it. That's where the money is. 162 baseball games, 82 hockey games. It's on every night. That's why we love North American sports. You get to chat about it. I do. We get to watch it. But there's something uniquely special about watching somebody represent their own country. And I think as a nation, we're starting to catch up to that. We see what that's like around the world. But, there is an incredible professional level of sport over here in North America that is unrivaled everywhere else. And now I think what we've seen with the Olympics, with Four Nations, with the World Baseball Classic, that you can see just how people lean into that pride of representing their country at the highest level of sport.
Well said. It is next level, though. It is going to be something that this country has never seen, and I cannot wait. What I'm also seeing right now, KJ, are people in the chat angry that I have big-footed Azo out of this discussion.
KJ, he always does this.
I'm going to bring Azo back into this discussion. Take it away, big-time star Jeff Azzopardi.
Hey, KJ, good talk to you, man. I spent some time with you, if you were jumping on here. I want to get to Crépeau. Like Sid had mentioned him. You got named the starter yesterday, right? Yeah. And to your point, I saw you on TSN looking dapper as hell in his suit, talking about like how much it meant to him to get named that in Montreal while you were there. Team kind of did it. We can talk about how they might have fumbled the Davies PR stuff, but the Crépeau stuff was done right. Did they do that on purpose? Like, was that always it? How long ago did they know he was their starter? Or did it really come to a front in that last tune-up for the World Cup?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I've spent a lot of time with Jesse on microphone and off microphone. Where we were last week, I sat down with him probably 8 days ago, and I said, "Do you now know your starting goalkeeper?" And he said to me, "No, we don't know it." And at the time, for me, it just felt almost crazy that he didn't know who his goalkeeper was. Now, he didn't tell me whether he thought one was leaning more 60% or one leaning more 40%. For those who aren't aware, both these goalkeepers have done reasonably well for Canada, and both these goalkeepers have struggled in Major League Soccer this year because they play for really poor defensive sides. Jesse Marsch actually mocked that in the press conference, saying that. Orlando for Maxime Crépeau, Miami and Messi for Dane St. Clair. But no, they didn't do it on purpose. It just became circumstantial that Crépeau ended up being here in Montreal. A full circle moment for him where he signed his first professional contract with the then Montreal Impact to be able to do that. So it was time. We all knew it. He had to name somebody. Jesse Marsch said it was the hardest decision of his managerial career because they're so close. But I think they made the right decision. Particularly there's lots of factors into this, but the Bombito question marks, do you need a little bit more, I think, calmness back there, someone with a bit more experience? And as I said before, Maxime Crepeau played really well in the Copa America. Maxime Crepeau played very well. He's played against France and Mbappe. He's played against Argentina and Messi, and he shined on the biggest stage when he needed to. So I think those reference points have been really significant in making this decision.
Can you throw up the Crepeau picture of him at 18 years of age with the Montreal Impact, Azo? There you go. That is for everyone watching here. I'll describe for the listening audience. That is a kid named Maxime Crepeau for the Impact, recently signed by then Impact head coach Jesse Marsh. Like what the era here, KJ? This is 2011, 2013-ish. Is that what we're looking at?
Yes.
And to have Maxime Crepeau go into that game tonight, and again, it's worth repeating, the final friendly for any World Cup nation holds obvious significance. For Crepeau to do this in Montreal tonight, like try and put into words what this means to him this evening.
Yeah, I mean, the kid from Greenfield Park obviously got his chance to play professionally before. He never really dreamed of that. You have to understand, these people of Maxime Crepeau's era grew up trying to play soccer when professional soccer didn't exist in this country. We're all old enough to remember this, but Toronto FC, born in 2007, the birth of Canadian professional MLS, right? Like Montreal Impact not long after that. But when Maxime Crepeau is a young boy, like his dream is like to try and figure out how do I become professional in this country? Here we are now on the day that he gets named to be there, and we've got Major League Soccer, we've got Canadian Premier League, we've got the NSL, we've got professional environments for men and women in our sport. So, but for Maxime, it's not been an easy ride. Like this is somebody that was in Montreal for a while, needed a different move, went to Vancouver, did really well there for a while. The side was not what they are now, seeked better things, went to the US. To LAFC, was a number one goalkeeper, played in an MLS Cup final, broke his leg in an MLS Cup final that Gareth Bale ended up winning. And Gareth Bale FaceTimed him on the field with his medal while Maxime Crepeau was going into emergency surgery after breaking his leg 8 days before the last World Cup squad was announced. And he was a shoo-in to be Milan Boyan's backup in Qatar. So not only is he going to his first World Cup, now he gets to be the first goalkeeper from Quebec to do so, to play in a World Cup for Canada. So many storylines, and overall, just a superhuman being, a class act, and you can see that he's got the respect of his national team teammates.
KJ, I thought this was the pick the whole time. I have to be honest. Like, yeah. I think the Copa, considering how close, as you mentioned, Crepeau came to being on that plane for 2022, the Copa performance, I felt, I don't know, in my gut, this was always going to be the call that had to happen from Jesse Marsh. But with that said, Dane St. Clair was goaltender of the year for Minnesota United last season in MLS.
Right.
Then the Gold Cup happened. Wasn't great for Dane. And the season this year, as Jesse Marsh so eloquently put it yesterday, he's in front of a terrible defense at Inter Miami. Let me ask you this. This selection happens 12 months ago. Is Dane St. Clair the number one?
Yeah, he is the number one. Because, as you alluded to, we were there at the Gold Cup, and he was the number one goalkeeper at that time. Maxime Crepeau, just to be clear, lost his job for Canada based on his performances in Portland, not because of his performances for Canada. There's not been one real moment where you can go back and go, he had a bit of a howler there, should have made that save, let that bad goal in. He's been almost so consistent that he's not really had a bad game for Canada under Jesse Marsh in his 15 starts. But he lost his job. He lost his job after in 2024, after Copa America, and was in a real dark place that first window. And Dane St. Clair went on to have like 8 starts out of 10. Crepeau got like a random game in the series at BMO Field last summer, just to play one game against Ukraine, and then one game in against El Salvador in the Gold Cup when they've already qualified for the next stage. He was the backup goalkeeper, and then out of the Gold Cup, we went on to this performance where, when we were in Europe with them, one goalkeeper got one game in the two game windows. Each of them got one all the way up to build up to this, and then obviously 45 minutes on Monday. So no, a year ago it would have been Dane's job.
Wow. So KJ, what else are we looking for tonight? Like the last game against Uzbekistan seemed like two different halves completely.
Yep.
What are you looking for tonight in this final tune-up before the World Cup?
Well, there's no longer time for rotation and let's call it gimmicks. taking a new team into the second half. Tonight's starting lineup, I think will be very close to the starting lineup a week from today. This is a very serious game that you've got to prepare for. You've got to get the relationships going. So that means giving Richie Laryea longer than 30 minutes. Maybe he can go 45. Maybe he can go for an hour getting ready, all ramped up for Friday, playing left back. Alistair Johnson, can he get another 75, maybe 90 minutes in him now after playing and winning the double for Celtic? Does Luke de Fougerolles come in for Moise Bombito, and can they play almost 90 minutes? So in other words, Azo, it's not really a day where they can just mess around and rotate and make loads and loads of subs, maybe later in the game, but certainly not at half time. This is now something that is more than just a warm-up. This is real preparation for next Friday's game. I'm hearing they've got another game, like a little friendly game against Vermont on Saturday or Sunday this weekend, where they can get some of the legs going of the other players who don't get that many minutes tonight. But this is big. This is a full house. Ireland is staying here at the hotel. So Seamus Coleman in reception. They've got a decent team here, but a junior team in the sense that there's a lot of younger players. Montreal have sold it out. They're coming out big, as you always do here, and they expect to see Canada get some goals and win.
KJ, you mentioned the team Ireland brought to Montreal tonight. Now, correct me if I'm looking at the wrong team sheet, because sometimes these things are fluid, as you know, online. I know you have the correct one. It's Seamus Coleman, but Nathan Collins is in there tonight. Is Jake O'Brien of Everton in there tonight? Is it because they brought some Premier League defenders with them tonight? Yeah. And my main question to you is, if they play this evening, I think that is a great test for Jonathan David. I think that first thing, how do you think he will do? Because I'm a little nervous based on how the Juventus season went about how Jonathan David is going to do. One, what kind of a test do you think that will be for Jonathan David? I mean, Nathan Collins is quietly one of the better center backs in the Premier League right now for Brentford. It's going to be a great test. And secondly, who plays with David up front, in your opinion, next Friday?
I think, first of all, on Jonathan David, everyone tells you all around. We started off this interview and talking about what the mood was and what everyone tells John. Everyone always talks about, don't worry about Johnny. Don't worry about Johnny. Don't worry about Johnny. At some point, maybe you worry about Johnny. He hasn't got a goal from open play for Canada for 10 games, which is the longest stretch of his professional career. He got those 2 goals against Iceland in the last window with 2 penalties. He has not been at his fluid self. But at the same time, he does have that talent that you can just switch and then he can go on a run and maybe he gets 3 or 4 or 5 goals at the World Cup and takes Canada far. So I think it would be nice to see him get that opportunity to play and play often. And the biggest question for me afterwards is the second one, and I think it's Kyle Larin. I just think it's Kyle Larin for a lot of reasons, because Jonathan David and Kyle Larin are really close. They share the same agent, for what that's worth. But I sat down with him last year for half an hour, actually in March, on OneSoccer. Great interview. You can just see what it means to both of them, how much that they play off each other. And I think Jonathan David's favorite partner is Kyle Larin. And Larin's had a tough time. He's only scored once under Jesse Marsh for Canada, but he has got a lot of, let's call it, collateral with his teammates. He's built up a lot over the years where they feel like he can come and be big in big moments. Now, he lost his job last summer, but Larin's performance for Southampton, where he was excellent down the stretch and got 9 goals in 20 games for them, I think he comes in with a lot of form. However, did not get much of a chance on Monday night and for 45 minutes. And then Taniela O'Shea comes on, gets 2 assists, and Promise David comes on and smashes one to the top corner and is marginally offside. So it's a burning question. And Larin knows he's got people right behind him. And I think it becomes a real big game for him tonight.
Because KJ, honestly, I was ready for some Tandy time after that second half.
Yeah, I can see that.
I felt Jonathan David he looked a little freer to me. There was a little bit more speed up front. I know Larin had a great end of the year at Southampton, and he deserves all the starts. I get it, especially for what he's done for the program.
Yeah,
but I thought it was just a different look with Oluwaseyi up front. But if we're nailing it down, you think Larin's out there next Friday against Bosnia and Herzegovina?
I think he will start tonight, and I think what we see tonight will probably be their starting lineup next Friday. However, this pressure is on this guy. He knows it. I saw him in the hotel in Charlotte. He's as relaxed as they come. But Canadians are going to watch this team. And even when you speak to the most passionate Canadian fans, the ones that have loved Kyle Larin for a long time, the patience is wearing thin. They want goals for this nation. And they know that he needs to go out there because, this is not Copa America, where Kyle Larin and Jonathan David were so good defensively in shutting down Argentina and came off playing really well against big nations. And again, I think this is, as a country, we're okay to say and puff our chest out a little bit. Bosnia are at home. and Qatar at home are opponents where Canada can expect, I'm not saying they will, but can expect to be on the front foot and win.
Agreed.
They can expect. I don't want to hear all of this like very Canadian aspect. Well, those are really good teams, and it's the World Cup, and we've never won a game before. The time is now. Get out of the Qatar game and qualify for the World Cup. I don't want to hear all this. Get out of the Qatar game, and we've got to decide what happens against Switzerland. The time is to get out of the Qatar game and have at least 4 points, and know you're in the last 32 of a World Cup. None of this messing around and being all Canadian and nice. I've had enough.
Let's go. Let's go, KJ.
Preach, KJ. Preach. I love it.
Time to kick some ass in this country.
It's time. Like, this team has lost 2 of 23 games. Like, they played some big teams. Like, you know, and regardless, with Zola's talk about people not playing an injury, they're playing at home. Sid, you know this as much as I do. Look at past World Cups. South Africa even had their moment. They beat France, Korea, Japan, Russia. How good were they in 2018? The US, 94. The hosts, you have an enormous opportunity. And the time is now to get out of that Bosnia game, go win it, get out of the Qatar game, go win it. And then let's start talking about knockout football.
I think we have our KJ clip for Instagram.
I do too.
I think we have our Instagram KJ
Run
clip.
through a wall now.
Rah rah. And KJ, listen, I've known you a long time. I don't often hear you like this.
Yeah.
But I'm with you 1,000%. And I think the timidness that has always been percolating in Canada soccer, that we don't belong and maybe that we're not deep enough and this and that. This is the deepest team they've ever had. It's super young, and the home wind in the sails, you're right. We've seen it in tournaments numerous times down through the years. Why not us? Why not us, KJ?
Why not us? This time is now. Like, in a month's time, we might be doing this show and it might be over, but it might have been great. It's literally right now. This is it. And there's nothing wrong with turning up the heat. Let's go.
Let's go.
And with the expanded tournament, it's perfect for them to get out of the group. They should.
Let's go. Now, the one thing that freaks me out, Moise Bombito.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys are going to make me ask this question. Where are we at with him?
Ask the Bombito.
Where are we at with him, KJ? Could he be fully fit for next week?
I'm very concerned. Very, very concerned. Moise Bombito told me last week in Charlotte he would be 100% ready for the first game. And then he plays that 30-minute game in Edmonton and gets obviously injured and has had a setback. You saw the video of him limping off, my video that I took on the sidelines and sent back on the broadcast, and it didn't look good. And then in training yesterday, he was left out and he was in trainers and did some bike work. So this is a broken leg that happened last October. Something has gone wrong, because when Tajon Buchanan broke his leg, he was back playing 5-6 months later, less than that. And so something is not making sense to me in all of this. And it's a shame for him, because he is so important. But I think for the very first time yesterday, I start to think to myself that I can see a World Cup for Canada without Moise Bombito playing in it. And that's concerning.
I mean, how can you disagree with a word of that?
Yeah.
The way he looked coming off that field. Honestly, the way he looked on the field, guys. The way I was shocked by that. That was a shocking performance. And it was, look, I just think we've reached the point. I think a week out is a fair time to do this, to kind of put aside gamesmanship and be real with sports fans in this country and players and about the state of play. And I think Moise Bombito is in that space, and it's really unfortunate considering how confident the young man is, or seems. And it's too bad, but I'm with you. All right, finally, let's end on a positive here. When you look at the roster, what gives you the most reason to be optimistic? Because every time I look at that central mid, I smile.
Mm-hmm.
Ishmael Kone has had a hell of a season, although he needs a new head coach, apparently. Fabio Grosso is leaving Sassuolo today to brighter pastures in Florence. Why wouldn't you? But Ishmael Kone I thought he was the best player on the field at times on Monday night in Edmonton. What is your biggest positive for the team and the makeup of the squad going into next week?
Well, I'll say this. Like, first of all, the unity is real. And there are, there's just a togetherness about them where there is something unique in sports when you get around a group. And I've been around a lot to know when it's not real. But this is real, is that it's about the name on the front and not on the name on the back. And there's no one in that room who's going to be allowed to make it the other way. And I mean no one. So read into that about what you want. That room is policing itself, and there's people like Stefan Eustáquio, there's people like Alistair Johnson, there's people like Jonathan Osorio and Jonathan David and the leadership group that will make sure that this is their opportunity to make sure that there is no outside noise and chaos about anything at Richie Larea. So to get into that means that what I mean by that is that I don't believe that they're mentally going to capitulate. Now, they might. We've never seen this before. But what I like about this is, you mentioned Kone. It played in big games now in Serie A all season long, become a lot tactically smarter. Eustáquio played in big Champions League games. Alistair Johnson the same way. Jonathan David at Juventus. Tejan Buchanan has played excellent this year at Villarreal. Big expectations, big time pressure at big moments at big clubs. And I think that's what it comes down to for me, is that when we see them in that tunnel next Friday, are they going to be mentally ready for this time? And I think they will be. And that's why, because of the clubs that they're playing for. So that's the big thing that puts me in a place where we've never seen this nation before with this team, is that their ability to know that they've played in big games and they can go out there and do it again.
We're a week away, man. We are a week away from Canada and Bosnia-Herzegovina in the FIFA Men's World Cup, 3 p.m. Eastern next week at BMO Field. I'm going to keep it real with BMO Field. Hopefully FIFA doesn't get too upset with me.
Everyone knows what it is.
Yeah. Yes, that's fine. They'll be charging $30 for water. They'll be fine. And tonight, big exhibition game for Canada against Ireland in Montreal. I believe TS is 7 p.m. on the pregame start.
You got it. Yep, 7 o'clock.
Kristian, Jack, and some really talented TV people will be involved in that, and KJ will be all over the broadcast next week. KJ, have fun tonight, brother. And if we can, you're going to be a busy man.
Hold on. Before we let him go,
sorry.
The chat is demanding to know, how did you become a Braves fan, KJ? They need to know this. They're demanding to know, because Sid threw it out there. They're like, what, a Braves fan?
Yeah, I don't think
I think you have to tell the story.
So my first big break in media came when I was a 17-year-old media studies student in the UK. And we had a family friend in England called Phil Jones, who was a world-class broadcaster. Sid reminds me of him a little bit. And yes, I did call Sid a world-class broadcaster. Just a class broadcaster, Phil Jones from Manchester. And we knew him. And then I got an opportunity for an internship at CNN International Sports in 1996, right before the Olympics. And I was always a massive North American sports fan anyway. I'd been to a few baseball games in LA a few years prior to that. But, 96, just fresh off the Braves winning the World Series as well. And some young ruck called Chipper Jones. It was a pretty good time to be a Braves fan. So as Sid knows, like, there's a fandom for me, and then there's like a casual fandom. Like, I am a fan of the Braves. Like, we have MLB package. My son, unfortunately, has succumbed to become a Braves fan. And now we watch it a lot. So yeah, we're big Braves guys.
KJ, what I love about you're just a sports fan. You go to all events, taking your kids to events. It's so awesome to watch on IG, man. Like good for you.
Thanks. It helps. No, I mean, football is life, and football is just a job for me as well. But it helps. I think I learned so much from so many people. Like, I'm here in Montreal, and I know the Habs are done, but the way that Martin St. Louis conducted himself throughout this playoffs, I thought it was a masterclass in the way that he dealt with the media, and you learn more about it. And I've been talking a little bit about that now in terms of what's to come for Jesse Marsh. Like, the nation is going to find out about this guy. And he's told me he doesn't want to be the face of this team. Well, too bad. He's just got that personality where I think he's going to have to be the face of the team. And I thought the way that, St. Louis dealt with the media, I thought it was class. I'm kind of looking at that, and there's always things you can learn from, as Sid knows.
So I'm going to write this down the chat loves KJ.
And they do. They definitely do. Who doesn't, though? Come on, Sydney.
Kristian,
yeah,
Jack,
got a feeling
talking about stuff.
As long as he doesn't call you world class again. No more of that.
Tony Marinaro's going to invite him on. My guest spot got canceled today on Marinaro's podcast. He's going to jump on. For OneSoccer and TSN's World Cup coverage. KJ, love you, brother. Enjoy it tonight. Enjoy this stretch, man. It'll be fun. If we can catch up again, let's do it. I know you are slammed work-wise, but anytime you want to jump on, man, you have an open invite.
You have my word. I will find a spot to come on during the World Cup. Love you both. You're doing an amazing job. So proud of what you guys have built. This is needed in this country, so keep doing it.
Love you, brother.
Thanks, KJ. Keep up the good work.
Guys.
Take care.
One and only Kristian Jack joining us from Montreal, site of Ireland and Canada. Men's soccer tonight, final exhibition game, friendly, if you will, for Canada before the real first starts to fly next Friday against Bosnia-Herzegovina. And I like the pump-up speech from KJ.
Dude,
I'm a fan of that.
Something.
I'm a fan of that,
I love
Azzo.
it. Put
I
him in
love
the
it.
room before the game. Let's go.
Let's go.
It is.
Hey, Azzo.
Yeah.
Great time of year.
It sure is, Sid. Tell us why.
Better late than never.
We got to get it in.
Puck drops, tip-offs, first pitches. When the game is on, you call the shots. Head to betway.ca and bet your way. Must be 19 plus. Play responsibly.
It's a great way to end the week.
We've this World Cup's gonna be something else, man.
Yeah, man. 1 week, dude.
Canada can get through.
1 week at this time.
Canada can get through,
dude.
For the first time. But again, there's levels to this. Canada's never gotten like a point in their group before. We'll start there.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we dream.
Baby steps.
Then we dream. All good, Azzo?
All good, man.
All right.
Hit like and subscribe, please.
Our apologies. We wanted to get to Anthony Santander, but we ran out of time. On behalf of Jeff Azzopardi and everyone here at Sick Media, I'm Sid. You've been watching and listening to the Sid Seixeiro Show, powered by Sick Media. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Let's see what Monday brings. Take care. We'll talk soon.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sid Seixeiro Show on YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts.